And I'm like, what? I'm not the tour guide. Just talk to him.
That's right. BuckMeister, can you imagine? Gato, I choose you. Communicate with the natives.
BuckMeister, do something.
Welcome to yet another episode of the Nerdgasm podcast.
And I've made a comment on TikTok. We are sober, but I'm telling you, man.
So you can find me on Mr Geek Media. Hashtag Recast the Thala campaign.
Except Jack had to find someone from Africa. He's so plain.
Okay, I'm tebellokhala. Welcome to Nerdgasm. Hey, what's up, you guys? Welcome to an episode of the Nerdgasm podcast with my beloved co-hosts. Introducing themselves. Introducing Mr. Zuko. Take it away.
Dumulamba khaizo lebizo la ka ke Zano Zuko ngwana ga Mlambo. Rana amogela mo channeleng ya rona mo re tlo bua di anime dintho tse di monate fela. So please join us and enjoy.
You know, you just reminded me of that show, Was a Weekend.
Which anime?
And funny enough, it used to play at this time.
Exactly.
This day. It used to play on Fridays
Every
at
Friday
half
at
past 8.
8. It
Yeah.
was the best, bruh. Yo, I remember when he passed away, man. Like we were so sad, bruh. Like we were genuinely sad, bruh.
Anyway.
I miss those times, man. Do you remember Nom Gqibelo or something like that?
Kamukibelo ngomgqibelo.
Gqibelo, yeah.
Kamukibelo ngomgqibelo. That's where we got introduced to Dostonoche.
Yeah, when he used to do the 100, 200, 300.
300, 400.
You know, now that you're thinking about it, we're spot for interesting television shows, weren't we?
Yeah,
Dude,
no.
we had Seli Matunzi as well. Remember we had Seli Matunzi? Seli Matunzi.
You remember Brown?
Hey, Goku made it.
Finally, I had a Goku moment.
If I could go to Goku moment, buddy.
You know?
Yeah, but yeah, man.
Welcome.
Duku thing with Brown and whatever. That was really cool.
Who remembers that show Going Nowhere Slowly?
Going
Go
nowhere slowly.
Have you guys actually been recording?
And that's alright. We actually
We are literally
just
doing our
the intro.
introductions and
And then we tangent.
But do you remember
We
the
just hit a
weakest link,
tangent.
dog? Do you remember the weakest link?
indeed.
You are the weakest link. Goodbye.
Goodbye.
Or you find that you didn't bank. Like, dude, there'll be someone that you guys get all the right answers and you're almost at the top, but nobody banks, bro.
And you're busy screaming in the screen, bank, damn it, bank.
Yo, bruh, what happened? We had our game shows, man. Zama 2 times. Zama 3 times. Zama.
Zama
What
I
happened? Zama.
I could have come at 9 and it would have been fine. I was rushing here because I thought you guys were in the middle of the review.
Dude, we're just stalling so that you can come through. It's all good. Anyway, guys.
So it's not a
we
Goku
changed it
moment
out of
then.
the most random.
You guys took my Goku moment away.
No,
man.
it is a Goku moment because we're stalling so that you can arrive.
Isn't that the definition of a Goku moment? We are busy stalling the bad guys, waiting for Goku to arrive.
But you're supposed to be fighting and die.
That is sort of fair. Like, okay, this guy's gonna be blinded for 5 minutes at least. Goku, come. You know what I mean? But anyway, is it?
Where are you?
Background, BuckMeister, background.
Anyway, introducing
I'm
Mr.
changing
Extrodin. Mr. Extrodin, please take it away.
What is up, everybody? This is Mr. Extrodin, all the way from Lagos, from the mainland. You know what I mean? Do check out Nerdgasm episodes. We've been pushing a lot of stuff since last year. Please check out. We've been doing Avatar and stuff like that. Also check out the Geek Spot so that you can check some of the other geeky, nerdy people in the community. But as for me, yeah, I have 2 channels, Mr. Extrodin Things and Mr. Extrodin Universe, where we talk all things film, which is African Frame, and then Africa is next. We're currently doing Naruto. You can check that out. We did Bleach, we did Dragon Ball Z. So if you like stuff like that, do check that out. We also have hip hop. We have I have something called Mr Extrodin Talks where I talk to other nerds and stuff, creatives. That's me. I'm not in Lagos, by the way. I'm just saying because of them. You know, I think you get the gist.
Yes, he's in Lagos Sunnyside.
Guys, did you see that the TikTok blocked
bro.
my French video?
The what?
Which one?
The clip I made about our comment about the French.
Oh, they blocked it.
They blocked it 3 times.
Petty.
Are you serious?
And you were giving compliments to the French, were you not?
No, listen
were
carefully.
very
No,
complimentary
he
to the
was
French.
drilling them. He was basically, you know what he was doing, ne? He was following his fire sign because you know he's from the Fire Nation. He was roaring like a dragon armadillo there, and you know, all he needed was lightning. He just someone needed to do the lightning pose. Just someone.
I was just commenting about the performance in the Rugby World Cup. Is that a crime?
No, first you butchered French names. First you butchered French names, and then you roasted them afterwards. That's what happened. Those are the order of events.
Okay, when they apologize for what they've done in Africa, then I'll apologize for butchering their
Okay,
names.
guys, I tried. Game over.
Oui,
Okay, no.
apologie, le français.
BuckMeister, why are you glowing? What's going on, dog? What's happening? What's going on?
He just ate.
Going how?
Are you
He just
dating
ate.
an alien Dinta?
What glowing how? I'm confused.
I don't know, man.
He just ate. He just ate, my guy.
He just look really good, dog. I don't know what's happening.
He's pregnant.
It's God on the skin. It's God on my skin.
Mr. Extrodin, the man, he was on the low. More boxer. So he just pulled up. So now he's glowing. He's back. He's back. Just get more. Tobiano.
You just got to send
It's called God. I tried it on my skin.
What is it? Super Saiyan God mode. Aye.
Anyway, okay. Also, a quick shout out. I think by the time this is out, we would have dropped our final review of the last Airbender series. It was supposed to have come last week, but we had a shock episode. We had to talk about the passing of Mr. Toriyama. But so
R.I.P.
So this one, our final review of the last Airbender, the live adaptation of the last Airbender should be out by now. Please go check it out. Anyway, moving along, Mr. BuckMeister.
You can see how you can see how Tebello feels by the way he's been struggling to say that title. He's like,
Which one?
The joy is just too much for you to handle.
Like the more you said it, the angrier you got.
The joy was just evident on him. The joy was evident on him.
Guys, I found enlightenment.
Okay, Guru Lahima. What is up, everybody? It's your boy BuckMeister, twice the nice that you are used to, Blamson. We are here to talk about a series that I've been excited for years. I'm so happy because at one point I thought it was canceled. I'm so happy to learn that that's not the truth. And it's so good that it even came out, Iwaju. But as for my stuff, you can find me on BuckMeister Cool and Meister Geek Reacts. Those are my 2 YouTube channels. You can also find me on social media, BuckMeister Cool across all my social medias. Recast T'Challa campaign running across all my social medias. Please go check out I was about to say BuckMeister Cool versus Kang.
Yes.
No.
Yes.
Please go check out Black Panther. Please go check out Black Panther versus Kang issues 1 to 3. All of them are on Webtoons right now. Please go check all of that stuff out. Leave a comment, like, and share, and all of that good stuff. If you want to, and if you're liking the stuff, please, you can also go follow me on Ko-fi at Meister Geek Media on Ko-fi as well. And you can give me you can buy me a Ko-fi and help support the animation that's supposed to be coming soon once I get all my stuff together. But yeah, you can support me in that way as well. And now let's get to it.
For those who didn't notice the subtext, BuckMeister is low key T'Challa this entire time. we just kept our mouth shut because we don't want to piss off Wakanda. But since he outed himself, we can finally say it, guys.
But T'Challa all
there,
along.
there is the king of Wakanda right there.
Ibombe.
BuckMeister yo. BuckMeister yo.
The Black Panther has been
BuckMeister
the protector of
yo.
Wakanda for generations. A mantle passed from warrior to warrior. And now because your friend murdered my father, I also wear the mantle of king. So I ask you, as warrior and king, how long can you keep your friend safe from me?
That is such a cold scene, and the coldness of that scene is just the calmness of it. Like dude is like it's like he's like reciting poetry, and then you realize this dude just threatened to kill your homie, bro.
Dude, like
In
there's
the
a part.
calmest way possible.
There's a part that was deleted from Civil War where who's this?
Natasha
Scarlett Johansson.
Romanoff.
Yeah, it's trying to like
Yeah.
break him, and he's like, "Is this? Are you done? What did you say?"
No, so when you said you do it yourself, you really meant it. He's like, you're not used to the truth, are you?
Yeah,
And it's like and then I saw it was like vibranium weave, you know, that puts you under the accords. How long do your psychological evaluations usually take?
yeah.
He's like, are you bored? Not currently. But me and my
Okay,
prisoner
I need
have
to
a
see
plane
these.
to
I don't know
catch.
these
Oh,
ones.
dog, that scene just like I think they took it out because they realized this guy is too overpowered. This movie, we cannot.
Okay, I need to go. I need
You're
to
right,
go Google some
You're right, Miss
scenes. I don't
Romanoff.
remember that one.
You're right, Miss Romanoff. I have much to learn.
If the clips I'm going to put here, if I find them, you will just see copy and paste.
And it's so appropriate to talk about
Move
Black
or
Panther
be
because
moved.
and it's so appropriate to talk about Black Panther because I feel like what people don't understand with that character is that that character and that success of that character plus Chadwick Boseman's performance RIP, even though we do need the character back, hence recast T'Challa campaign, but the success of that character, the success of that first movie and all of that stuff paved the way for stuff like Iwaju. Disney would not be greenlighting shows like this if they didn't see a potential in Afrofuturism via a successful property, which is why we need more and is why we need T'Challa back if people are not putting two and two together.
100%.
Also, anyway,
Okay,
as evidenced by all this information we just espoused right now, we are doing a watch review. I think we're going to do the first 2 episodes. We are most excited about what you have to think about. I'm so happy to do something that I actually look forward to doing. Not to badmouth a certain franchise I was looking at, but I for the first time I didn't need to purify my eyes after watching a couple of episodes, which for me already says a lot. Okay, but before that, cue Tawasa anime. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I'm your host, your anchor tebellokhala. This is the Tabata Anime. There are currently 1,111 One Piece chapters out, and here you news bulletin. Despite thoroughly made reviews of the latest adaptation of the Avatar: The Last Airbender series, Netflix has greenlit for the production of season 2 and 3.
Oh, I heard about this.
Yes, I heard of this.
They're really going to try to do book 2 and book 3.
Yeah.
Which does coin the all-American term of if it doesn't work the first time, take a blunt hammer and smash through it and try and make sure it works again. And then in other news, worldwide, the shock of Akira Toriyama's passing has caused worldwide shock and echoed in many different places, giving rise to what people thought were once rumors and turned out to most probably be true, which also turned out to be most probably rumors again, aka how the Mexican cartels have declared a ceasefire.
Oh, yeah, I heard about that. I was like, yo, Akira Toriyama
That was
is
the most
stopping...
gangster rumor ever.
Yeah, like Akira Toriyama is stopping gangster violence. Like,
Yes.
All those hobbies were shooting each other, and they were just like, but my guy, I don't have a Mexican accent, but I'm gonna try. Here you go.
Oh, hermano, no, no, no,
Free.
hermano, no.
No,
Hermano,
hermano.
my friend. Akira has passed. We need to put the guns down and do a Kamehameha to get fusion dance, my friend. Hombre.
See, BuckMeister, see. We will stop for just
Ay,
for
vato.
one day.
Now, here's the thing that
Let's have a tequila. Let's have a tequila in honor of Akira.
Alejandro, I can't do drugs today, Alejandro.
I'm just
Oh
too
my guys, did
sad.
you see the TikToks? Did you see the
No, I
TikToks about
didn't.
that?
I
No.
didn't.
Please,
Shout out to
please
the
search.
Mexicans.
Please
Don't
search
cancel
those.
us. We joking.
Love you, man. You guys have some higher.
Oh, there, bruh. Like, there was a couple of great TikToks about that, bruh. Like, oh my soul. Like, this dude was about to, like, he goes in there and he tells his boss, like, hey, boss, I've got some bad news. And the boss is like, you better not tell me you lost another shipment. He's like, boss, it's worse. Senor Akira passed away. He's like, hey, bruh, don't be playing like that, man. Don't come here with your bad jokes up in
Cut off
here.
his legs.
And then the other. Hey, Brian, and yeah, and then he's like, yeah, hey, man, actually cut off his legs, for cut off his hands for telling such a bad joke. And then the dude he tells to cut off the other dudes is like, hey, Jefe, it's true, man. Hey, dude starts dropping a third tear. He's like, can't be true. Oh, man. Like people went ham on that thing, bro. People went ham on it. But apparently, like, that thing was so crazy. They would have watch parties. Like you see what they did with the World Cup, where we go over and we'd watch a game there. They were doing that for DBZ
No,
and
at one
program
point,
and regular episodes, like regular
yeah.
episodes, not even like movies or special edition stuff. Like if let's say
No,
if an
like
episode plays Monday at only Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays at like 5 o'clock. At 5 o'clock, they at the watch party and they having that, and it was so crazy that they were actually asked to stop doing that. I think they
Now,
almost lost the rights or they were threatened with losing the rights if they didn't stop doing that.
now
I mean,
here's
no.
the
At one
thing.
point, there was a thing in Brazil where they were, like for Dragon Ball Super, they were like doing Goku versus Jiren like it was an MMA fight. Like they even had like a banner or a poster, and it said something in I think in Portuguese, and it was like something 5 o'clock, and then they had like Goku on one side, and they had Jiren on the other side, and they had like verses in the
Oh
middle. Like
wow!
you'd think it was actually a prize fight or something like that.
I wonder if,
like people were betting money on who's gonna win
I wonder if
between
they,
Goku
I
versus
wonder if they
Jiren.
had commentary. That would be even doper. Imagine if they had commentary. Here comes Goku. Oh my goodness, he's about to do the spirit bomb. Oh no, it's the Kamehameha there. Oh my god.
Out of nowhere. Oh my! Goku drops that's the Ultra Instinct transformation.
Imagine,
He's dodging everything.
It's like, whoa,
just
wait a minute.
If
imagine
you
the
guys have
commentary.
ever watched, if you've ever watched football or just the clips, and you've ever heard Spanish or Portuguese commentary, you will
And they
know
go
how
ham.
insane those guys.
They
So
go
you can
ham.
imagine how ham it goes. Come here,
I,
come
I'm,
here, come here, come here. A Goku, a Goku, a Goku,
I'm,
a
I'm
Goku,
just
a
imagining. I'm
Goku.
just imagining the commentary. You know that first part where Jiren and Goku first off, and then first Goku punches him and he doesn't move, and then he turns Super Saiyan, and that whole beginning sequence. I can imagine the commenting Super Saiyan. No, he's like
No,
he
dude,
moved the
that
finger. He moved that finger. Yeah!
Bro, for me, I would want actually Joe Rogan, bro. The part where Goku becomes a Super Saiyan for the. Oh, wait a minute. Is that?
Low key, that was all of us when Goku went. That's all of us when Goku went Super Saiyan the first time, and when Gohan went Super Saiyan 2. Everybody like we were grabbing for something that didn't exist. It was like, hey, one.
Are you seeing this? Anyway, I just wanted to add there's what's given credence to that what the rumors may have actually be true is that a couple of days ago there was a mass event in Mexico City where fans stood up in solidarity and performed the spirit bomb and raised their hands.
I saw the video.
Shocking everyone because now everyone is thinking, hey guys, this was just a rumor, but now they're seeing this happen and thinking, is
Hey,
it a rumor?
It's a beautiful video, though.
so it means that to end the world violence, like we just need world leaders that are into anime. Like maybe that's what's wrong with all the world leaders today. They're not into their childhood anymore, so now they want to
Yes.
destroy everything.
That's why. Have
no,
you
like
noticed-
they actually had studies where crime would literally go down when DBZ was playing.
It
For real?
So
happened
that's how insane it
throughout
was.
the world because it's like, it's
Well, no,
what?
like it's been like a mix. Like, well, the one I read was for Mexico, but literally, I'm sure it could be extrapolated to a lot of
Yo,
other countries as well.
that'd be hilarious. Like somebody's about to, it's like, yo, we gotta off this fool. Okay, everybody like he's strapped to the chair, and it's like,
Stay tuned.
Hey,
this is the last time. And then after that, they just
hermano,
get-
hermano, it's DBZ, DBZ. Olere.
I can't kill you now, fool.
What's the trend? Yeah, I'm busy being tied up and hostage. Goku study. Where?
It's like, hey, Simon, last episode before you kill me, please, man, please, man.
And then after that, at the end of it, it was like they all start talking. It's like, did you see that? Did you see when he went Super Saiyan with the? It's like, I can't kill him now. He's a Dragon Ball.
You know what?
Squash the beat.
You know what? Yeah, all right. Let's take you home. Do you ever live home? No, I don't. You know, nobody takes care of me. I'm sitting alone. I'm living with I'll just live with my mom. I say. So I need to go home now and make sure that there's food on the table. You know what? Yeah, one of us, fam. Let's go home. For Goku's sake. For Goku.
Like when Goku needed energy to defeat Boo. Like the guy's like, please untie my hand so I can give Goku energy. And then they're like,
You know what?
Alejandro,
You better put up your hand.
it's right, you know. We need to save the world, hermano. And
You know, Simon. You know, Simon.
yeah, I want to see any new gen anime stop gangster beef. Like before you even come at Dragon Ball Z, all you newbies talking about Dragon Ball Z is mid. Let your anime stop gangster beef first before you come talk to me about Dragon Ball Z being mid.
Because the last I checked,
There's also a rumor about Fairy Tail that it's coming out, and also what's this? Demon Slayer season 4 is coming out soon.
yeah, Demon Season. Yeah, I've heard about that one as well.
It's gonna be the Harishama training arc, so it should be interesting to see how you get to that level.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, I think that concludes our news segment. I think, unless
And with that comment, you can see how much Tebello loves Demon Slayer.
Demon Slayer.
Well, I saw. You know, funny enough, I saw clips of it not so long ago. And it ain't that bad. Because if there's one thing I need to agree with is that the swordmanship there, those are actual swordsmen. They're not warriors with swords. Somebody was arguing that Ichigo is a warrior with a sword, and
Yes.
as a Demon Slayer swordsman. When I saw that, well, granted the animation style have differed over the generations, but when you compare the protagonist and the swordsmanship, you kind of do see somebody who's working towards. You can see this man is working. This man is a swordsman, even the way they swing that sword and stuff. It's very clean. I wanted to say where Ichigo is blunt hammer.
No,
Ichigo's
100%.
power.
Even if you were to watch Kenshin versus Bleach, you
Yeah,
can
like,
see the swordsmanship. The swordsmanship.
Kenshin is a swordsman. I don't care what. Yeah, I know the author's controversial. I'll always have a caveat. I'll always mention the fact that
Look, we're not supporting the creator anymore. Kenshin is done. There's no way we can give him any money, and we can enjoy the thing that he made.
Yeah.
Wait, what
Like,
did you do? What did you do? What did you do?
Let's not get
We'll
into
tell
it.
you offline. We'll tell you offline.
Okay.
I'm not afraid to tell you.
But wait, there's a remake, isn't there, of Kenshin?
Yes.
Yeah,
But
it came out last year, 2003.
the owner was found.
Did you just say?
Yeah,
2000?
so I just saw one on an anime 2003 of Kenshin. I saw it like last week.
23
Yeah.
or 2003?
That's 20 years ago.
2023.
Hey, dude, what's happening with you?
Like,
That's
like-
what I'm asking
I
you.
was like-
Like, dude, are you in the
Grade
past?
11.
You gotta get back to the first samurai, Zuko.
Zuko,
Yeah, but this 2023 thing is like I kid you not, it's
you are an imposter, dog.
No.
Intatlile, man. Intatlile. I'm an old man.
Yeah, his age is beginning to show. He's reaching grandpa stages. He's gonna start forgetting.
Yo, give us
Listen here, my children.
give us
He's
a
good.
right now.
Get down. It's just
He's gonna
1000.
start
Get down
getting. He's
again.
gonna start forgetting our names.
Get down some more.
Have you seen that old toad from Naruto who keeps on forgetting his name? It's like, yes, I've called you. What is your name again? If there's a grandpa, if there's an old person I'd like to be, I would like to be that type of person. I'm like, the worst part is I would low-key know who they are, but I'll pretend that I don't. It's like, hi.
Yeah, no, I want to be able to pretend, but I don't want to be able to forget. Like, yo, Alzheimer's is scary to me. I don't want none. I don't want none of that stuff.
Banana.
Yeah, you don't want that smoke, dog. Like my grand had dementia. That shit was not
Nope.
funny, man.
No.
Okay, it was kind of funny sometimes because I
No,
remember
it's
this
not
one
funny
time.
for the person, but I mean, it's
Yeah,
funny
yeah.
for people outside. But I don't want it. I don't
She
want to
woke
be
me
the.
up. I'm in my room, right? She wakes me up and she's like, "Dude, get ready. The train's about to come to a stop." Now this is before I knew what was happening like properly. I thought it was just old age things, but before we got it diagnosed, so I'm like, "What?" I'm half asleep in like the train. Like, what are you talking about? She's like, yeah, bro, the train's about to come to a stop. So start prepping your stuff. So I go to my mom. I'm like, Mom, what the hell's going on? She's like, hey, man, it's about that time. And then she tells me what's going on. So she would like literally come up and we'd be chilling in the living room watching TV. And then she'd like go and get a bag. And she's like, guys, the train's about to come to the stop. And you're just like, hey, this thing is serious, man.
That's hectic, dog.
Yeah, the worst was
One of the
when
most depressing
at that
tangents we've ever
time
gone on.
you
But
can
You
still
know,
anyway,
take her out of it. You can still take her out of it. Like, no, it's not we at the house. And the worst is when they get caught in a cycle and they just can't get out of it. So they're trapped in whatever memory they're trapped in, and then they can't get like no matter what you tell them, they just don't believe you. That's when it's bad. Like you can still get them out. You can still laugh a little about it, like, hey man, that was a little crazy. But like when they get stuck in a memory loop and they just can't get out of it, no matter what you do, no matter what you say, even if you like take them outside and you show them like, hey, we're at the house or we're not at the church or wherever she thinks she is, that's when it got scary.
But you know what? You know what would be sick though? Now that you were mentioning this, imagine an anime where we know that usually shonen with a shonen like the protagonist has to like fight his friends, even like the people that will become his friends eventually. Imagine if the main
Mm.
character eventually has dementia and is stuck in a situation where all of his friends were his enemies at that time before they became friends, and then he fights them. And he's
sure I've had one of those.
and then what happens at the end?
I'm pretty sure, but it's one of those tragic scenes. It's like doesn't the final arc where the guy was dying?
what of an anime?
Yeah, I just can't imagine because there was a character like that just immediately flashes into my mind. One of them is Grandma Chio because she straight up attacked Kakashi when she saw him because she saw the man who killed her kids.
No, but Chio got over that really fast. Like she
But
learned to
because-
catch up
she
quickly.
saw Kakashi's dad, right? Like she
Yeah.
thought it was Kakashi's
Yeah.
dad. The white wolf.
You saw Kakashi and thought it was Kakashi's dad.
But there was another one. If I remember it, I'll put it up. If I do remember it,
Okay.
otherwise, I like
Anyway,
of course. It's
one of the most depressing tangents we've ever gone on. Wow.
Oh, I just need to also add a caveat. Is like it may be also one of my many made up stories that I make in my head. I've got billions of files here, so I could be confusing the two, né? So
Yeah, I've always wanted to do a saga of Goku bumping his head again and becoming Kakarot, and them having to fight him while he's OP and they're not. It would have been interesting, but anyway.
Yeah, how are they gonna win? Like that's instantly when you fetch the Dragon Balls. Like we're not doing this.
Gohan
You
would
probably have to.
they would have to.
Yeah.
Now, Piccolo would have to force Gohan to really be like stop being a pacifist and go hard on your dad, bro. That's the only way.
Wow, that eye
Gohan
roll.
could barely fight. Gohan could
Trauma.
barely fight Cell. Like you think he can go fight his
Trauma.
dad?
If his
Well,
dad is murking everybody, even his mom, of course, though.
when push comes to shove, you're gonna have to kill your own father, Gohan. We believe in you.
Wow. Oh, but
No, but
Matt,
then,
just feed him a
but
sensu
then,
bean.
but
Oh,
then,
but just feed
if
him a
I'm
sensu
Gohan,
bean.
the first thing I'm doing is I'm getting the dragon. Okay, it's like, guys, I'll keep him busy. Get the Dragon Balls. I wish my dad to be the way he was before. End of arc.
Your wish has been
Shenron,
granted.
Shenron loves drama. He's gonna be like, I can't do that. Like, Shenron, you're lying, dog. Nah, for real, I can't do
You're
it.
all powerful, Shenron. Now.
Anyway, don't
Uh,
make me get Purunga. We'll go get Purunga.
let
You want to keep this up?
let's tension back and start
Oh
talking
Lord.
about this one because
Yeah.
this went very dark. Like, yeah,
Oof.
I don't know what's like. Yeah, shout out to all people going through taking care of people.
Get out
going
of it,
through-
please.
You know, what, let's move on to something happier. I don't know what can talk about. So, food. What's your favorite food, everyone?
No,
Iwaju,
actually,
let's talk
why don't we
about
talk
Iwaju.
about the thing that we're here for?
Let's talk about Iwaju because that's very happy.
Yeah, no. The reason why I'd like to talk about Iwaju is that there's a lot of eating.
Hmm.
That sounds
But
very African.
that was deliberate because it wanted to introduce us to the culture of Nigeria.
Yeah.
I know, and I do appreciate, but at some point it's like, this show is not for people who are hungry because, child. Anyway, let's get on
You also
to
want
it.
to eat.
Now, who
Yeah,
was-
let's. I think. Well, I think you guys are gonna have to give me a refresher because I binged all six, but it was like a while ago. I think it was like a month
Okay,
ago or
so-
so or whatever when it dropped. Shout out to Bill Masuku and Kugali Media for working on this thing. They really did a good. I don't know all of the cast. That's only the people that I know, but I know that a lot of people came together to make this happen. I do wish it was a movie though. Like this could have just been a Pixar full feature film, honestly.
That was also my first thought. That was literally my
True
first
that.
thought because also, so I've also watched the whole thing, but I'll make sure to make sure I don't reveal any.
I'm actually
any
gonna
spoilers.
rewatch it. I'm actually gonna rewatch it
But
as well.
it's what 30-minute episodes, so it's 6 hours. So I mean, if they made it a 2-hour movie, it would have been brilliant because a lot of the stuff it didn't. There was nothing when I say it could have been a movie. Nothing dragged. Nothing felt like it could have been quick.
No, it just
the pace.
it just felt like they
The
broke
pacing-
up a movie. If you understand what I'm saying, like it felt like they
Yeah.
took a movie and
No,
they
no, no.
and
I'm
like,
just saying, and when I'm saying this, I'm not criticizing like the pacing. I didn't feel like the pacing was too slow, or they over explained anything or anything like that. It wasn't a case of that. It's just that six episodes, 30 minutes each. Like my first thought when I saw that there were 30 minutes each, and it was only 6 episodes. Before I'd even watched it, that was my first thought. When I watched it, I still felt that way because I mean,
It was 3 hours.
yeah, so it's 3 hours. So they could have literally just done it into like a 2-hour movie.
because I felt like they were getting constrained by the episode format, if you get what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Like I felt like when we were going through, like even with episode 1, there's a lot of stuff that happens in episode 1 where you're just like, if they made this a movie, they could have stretched it into like a first act, if you know what I'm saying. Like they
Yeah,
could have
because
restructured it.
Mm.
Go ahead, Bill.
No, I was just saying the first thing I wanted to like is that what I appreciate about Iwaju is that they treated us like we've got intelligence. Wow, media literacy here is still effective, and you see media literacy being communicated quite well here. Thank you.
Yeah.
Oh, the spoon feeding we had on another show we shall not talk about.
You gotta let that go.
The over expositions, the soliloquies.
Yeah, there was none of that.
Yeah,
That's
but you got to see the show got to communicate in other ways that weren't verbal and exposition based. The first few minutes of the show, we see that we see this girl skating by. We see these bad people trying to get her. We see what do I want to call it? A gecko, the lizard.
Call it a gecko. You know what you're talking about.
Do its thing. We see that it failed to transform. We just see that, it's a simulation. All this thing communicated cleanly. We got all this information without having to say long ago.
In a distant land.
Cool.
A man created a gecko to protect
Yeah,
people from.
no,
Kidnapper.
if we had to go the route that the certain show would have been, it's like Nigeria, Lagos.
There would have been a grandmother just talking too
Long,
long.
long ago, everybody lived in harmony, but everything changed when the kidnappings happened. Only the scientist working on the secret technology can help, but when the time needed it most, the technology failed. 50 years later it passed, and now we've got a new scientist working on it. A young, with his young daughter.
How much? Oh, all the high, such Fire Nation energy.
It's up to the daughter and her father to save the world and create
Save
bad
God.
in Lagos.
Womp, 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 womp.
We don't get
Technology.
Yeah, I think what I like the most is that this show respected our intelligence for us to get what's going on. So we do see there's a kidnapping problem. We do see that this guy is somehow working on something to keep kids safe. And then
We see that his investor is actually quite impatient because it's not working.
And we also get the sense that the investor's not so necessarily interested in the kidnappings. Like she's more interested in the technology.
in product.
Mm.
And
With more of the financial implications of the technology rather than the technology.
Which is quite realistic for an investor to behave. Like that's how an investor would behave.
Facts. Which brings us to the next thing I wanted to love, the animation quality. Oh my god.
This looks amazing.
So,
like the textures, on the skin. Like there was like one shot with Oma. With why am I forgetting her name now? The little girl. There we go.
Tola.
It's Oma Tola Martins. I think that's her full name. Anyway, but I'm saying there's this one shot with Tola where she's like, I don't know if I'm skipping an episode, but basically she's just staring into the screen. And you just get to see the textures on her skin, and you get to see the color, and you're just like, they put a lot of money into this. Where you're just like, why didn't you make it a movie? Because this is movie quality. Like,
but I think this is their ticket to actually doing more stuff.
Yeah, because it's just chef's kiss.
But I just wanted to say the scene, the scene with the uncle who was trying to figure out how to drive the new car. With the hair, he's scratching his head, is bald there. You see the texture of the hair and everything. I was in awe. And this is actually the first 3D, for me, this is actually the first 3D animated film that shows male hair that's not perfectly combed. Like you do see some...
The curl,
I mean, they did something similar on...
It's not connecting properly.
No, did they do something similar in 2012?
A little bit, because I'm thinking about that one of the guardians in that farm with the cows and that boy.
Herder boy, like
Herder boy,
bro didn't have. What's the Dushime? That's how I remember his name.
With the beard and stuff.
Yeah, the basket. The guy with the basket.
The beard was not connecting.
Yeah, it was a little bit. I mean, it wasn't as detailed as this one, but it was pretty detailed.
No, I'm not talking about the detail. I'm talking about hair not connecting properly.
Yeah, he did have like a stubble thing going on, if I remember correctly.
Okay.
But that being said, then of course we get to see the girl cooking, which, if I'm not quite mistaken, are those the box that everybody talks about of the puffs?
Yeah, I was like, fit cooks. Worldwide.
Oh, like the thing that almost started a war in Africa.
Let me not say that. Apparently, there's a civil war between South Africans and Nigerians now.
Guys, relax.
We're always at war. No, we're always at war because now the jiggy they're saying they created Amapiano. Like what? Like dudes, calm down.
As long as BuckMeister, as long as she didn't say vet cook like Selena Gomez in that.
You're mourning vet cook. I was like, ow!
You're mourning vet cook. Like what?
Hey, man. Yeah, but apparently, let's not beef on food as well. Apparently, we're having wars over music there, and people are getting trolled on TikTok.
It's music with the Amapianos. It's Nigeria versus Ghana with the jollof rice, which apparently started in Senegal. With,
I'm sure that's
This is why the colonizers keep
It was the
looking, guys.
soccer.
Bro, you're too busy.
Yo, guys, the funniest statement I heard from the African World Cup, it's not about your team doing poorly. It's about doing better than your enemy.
yeah, because the way
That was
everybody
it.
was up in arms against Nigeria in the AFCON finals, like guys, are we not?
What happened?
No,
What?
it's just it's like who's a new obnoxious fan base? It's like the Jujutsu Kaisen fan base going like, yeah, Jujutsu it's better than DBZ, it's better than it, it's the best thing, whatever, or whatever fan base you find obnoxious.
Ojo's better than Kakashi or whatever. I don't know.
Yeah, it's those type of things. So you'd rather Jujutsu Kaisen lose, not because you don't like it, but you just don't want them to be just hopping on and on about it.
Mhm.
So that was basically the
No,
hate
look,
was
for
that.
me, like for me, right? I get playful jabbing, like that's all good and well because everybody does that in there. Even Bo Masutu, Bo Mazulu, Xhosa, like they have those things in here. Where
Man,
Zulus are like this and you know and what. My thing is when it gets to when in the comment section where it's like go back to your country or you know why would I want to go to that hole or whatever and it's just like relax.
Yeah.
This is just music and food, my guy. This is not that serious.
Jokes.
And what happened?
Now you're the border police trying to send people home. Like, oh, chill. Okay.
Like
It's funny
because
because we argue like
it was
this.
fun.
I was saying we
Go
argue
ahead,
like
sorry,
this
man.
we argue like this amongst ourselves. The moment the Western or colonized nations comes and says something bad about any one of our African countries, suddenly we are like united like with the nerve. Who is this man? I mean, the example I'm giving recently, this guy just went to go. This guy had to go open his mouth on Beyonce's internet and say that South Africa, you guys need us. You need us.
Oh, Joshua Doe.
Joshua Doe. When I tell you, the whole continent went like.
Bro, when
This one I
they said that they said his forehead is in the future, his hairline is in the past. I was just like,
Are you going forwards or backwards in time? Which one is it?
yo, bruh, they went ham on. If I find it, I'll send it to you guys. Like, oh my soul.
Yeah, I missed it.
on
I
him.
missed it.
I'm
You're gonna have
I
to.
don't
You're
know.
gonna.
It's what I just love about our continent. We are messy amongst ourselves, but the moment anyone outside the border comes and gives their opinion, well,
But isn't
Anyway.
that how siblings behave though?
I know. It's like the only person who's allowed to
Straight
hurt
up sibling behavior.
the only person who's allowed to hurt this man's feelings is I. Is I.
Yeah. No,
Who
just
made you
guys,
cry?
like, hey guys, have fun, but don't take it there where you
Don't take it
start
too
now.
You know,
Yeah.
Yeah, guys, like even when we were doing the Cape Verde thing, like, oh, we are going to Cape Verde, South African men, we are going to Cape Verde, and then someone just had to bring it like goes too far. It's like, yes, go to Cape Verde, you can rape them instead of raping us. Like, yo, dude, what the fuck?
Hey, who?
Yes.
Yo.
Yeah, like literally someone said that, like, yeah, the South African can go and like the GDP, the gender-based violence will go down. We're like, what the fuck, dude? These were just internet jokes. Why did it go there now? And
Hella,
yes,
like,
I understand that
and
it's
also
a
like
problem,
I
but
mean, I
that
understand it's a
wasn't.
problem, but also like you can't just localize it to one demographic. Like I'm pretty sure,
Yo,
you know, like I
people take things too far, man. Like you can't just like joke around.
Anyway,
And then like the other ladies then were dissing the Cape Verde woman. They were like, "Ah, please, Cape Verde women aren't even that pretty. I can find more beautiful Cape Verde. I can just go to Cape Town and I'll find like 10 Cape women more pretty than me." Like, yo, chill. That
I
we were
remember
just playing.
I remember they were giving the same type of vibes when people were commenting about women in Morocco not being prettier than women in Egypt, and I'm thinking, guys,
hey
Yeah, like It was fun, and then it wasn't fun anymore, and then it was
Yeah.
just like, okay, your
No,
trauma is showing.
it's like when you're playing wrestling and then somebody forgets that you're playing and then they clothesline you and you start spinning and you don't understand what's happening and then
Yeah.
it's just like I was playing, bro. It's like you took my head off for no reason. Like
Dog, or
we
30
were
seconds.
here.
Or 30
We were
seconds. It's 30 seconds and the person takes it so seriously. Like, yeah, no, I cannot play like this anymore. I'm like, what's wrong with you, man? Are you dumb?
Relax.
No.
You know?
Or it's when you're arguing Dragon Ball Z and somebody's just like, oh, so that's why you hate black women. Wait, where did that come from?
What? What?
Yeah.
Like, yo, but people take
I'm
these things
honest.
too far.
You know,
Like, you
maybe
just
maybe
be
because
playing
you
on the
guys,
internet.
I need your guys' input as the hetero demographic. What's this big issue about race with your women? From my perspective, a man is a man is a man is a man. Tentle fella. Doesn't matter.
I don't
Shape, color,
know.
what?
I don't have an answer for you. I don't know.
No.
All I know is that sometimes South Africans will be saying, "Do black American women look like this?" And then Americans will be saying, do black African women look like that?" And then people will be beefing over that. And then they'll be beefing over, oh, so now you want to be a Musimai Mani, you wanna run around, or you wanna be a Sia Kolisi, and then it's like then they're beefing over that and goes on and on. And now I'm just like, I honestly, I don't care.
Guys,
It's a
just
Okay, I
another
think
quick one.
the beef one. Sorry, before I forget, the big beef with the race is always the successful black men are forever with white women, or they always show the successful black men with white women. So that's where the problem is. Like, why when you get successful, you leave your black woman behind, and then when you asked about it, you come up with these stupid reasons that. Because one black woman rejected you, so now all black women didn't want you, type of thing vibe.
There was a huge statement
And
Umar Johnson on the Joe Rogan, Joe Biden podcast where he was, I think he was arguing
yeah,
with, you saw it, no?
yeah, I saw it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But
so
it's still,
that's really the big beef with that one, and
No,
also
I mean also
then
but I'm saying Zuko, there's also intercontinental beef because now people will be taking shots. Like Ebile Cape Verde, they'll be taking shots at other countries' black women now, and now it also becomes another problem. And it's just like, guys.
Yeah, I remember there was a whole skit about how this British Nigerian man fell in love with a Jamaican woman, and the family was having none of it. Like,
okay.
Anyway.
Yeah,
I just want to say something.
and there's still those things.
Did you
So,
guys see?
and then also another one with the Americans is because they are the gods of blackness. So when Tyler said like, no, I'm not black, I'm colored, and they're like, hi, njani, ntonto, and then they got all pissy about. And then when you explained it, South Africans will be like, no, guys, see so. And then when you don't want to listen, you're like, I've tech, marata how, okay.
which is funny because what breaks my heart is that they're willing to paint over basically an entire culture. We can't you can't look at the colored culture and just overlook it and just say no, they're just different subsects of blacks or whatever. It's a whole rich history.
Yeah,
I
but
mean,
the thing is also, I just think in general, we have to be careful with this thing of culture. Like, and the reason why I say this is because what people will do is they will even be like, I'm willing to die for this cult, and I'm like, hey, dog, nah, I'm not. I'll tell you
Things
right now.
man-made, chill.
Like, yeah, it's the thing. Like, a bunch of people decided this is a thing now,
Yeah.
and that's cool. That's cool, but not to the point where you must start murking each other in jail over this thing.
yeah,
Where
no.
it's like now, so like at the same time, like as much as I love Basotho culture, like love it to death, but there's no point in me now. I must go fight a Zulu person because Kimsut. Like no, that's so. But at the same token, as a Black American, you shouldn't be like my culture is the culture. It's like no, you decided it's a thing, and that's cool. Other people, other way, decided different things.
Yes,
So you just see that.
Yeah, and that was
that's my
the big
biggest
beef with
argument.
that one because it was just they were just they were like, no, she's black, she's got they were doing that one drop rule of theirs, Ko America, if you've got one drop of black blood, you are black, you are classified as black. We're like, hey brah, we're not in America, stop classifying. And they're like, yeah, but in America we have it's a bad history. No, but we are not in. She's not American, so like,
No,
why are you
I mean,
imposing?
the history also gets dicey here, but the point is they've decided
Yeah,
that
dude, our history
colored
is
is
also
a
very
thing.
dicey. Like,
And yeah, I'm saying they've decided colored is a thing, and that's what it is. And like, you shouldn't be so in tune with your culture that you want to impose it and fight people about their culture as well.
Yeah,
Because
no,
now
yeah.
you're also making
yeah.
the same mistake. It's like,
No, no.
chill,
Mm.
relax, eat a
They
cookie,
need
I
be
just
fine.
wanted to say two
guys.
things
And
quickly.
and if
I just want to say two
and the
things
thing
quickly.
Sorry,
is,
Mr. Short, go ahead.
mm,
Okay,
Um,
Extrodin. Yeah.
it's just it's not related to what we're talking about though. But the first one is there was a huge thing about Mr. Popo. I don't know if you guys saw.
Yeah,
Oh
because
yeah.
it was black and
mm-hmm,
then they turned him blue.
mm-hmm.
Like people were saying, no, Yala, mourning this guy, but he was like doing this whole blackface thing, and someone was like, no, there was like, I was like, what? No, no. Someone said, Mr. Popo is actually like a god
An
from,
Indian. He's the Indian god of time.
yeah. So hence the hyperbolic time chamber, right? And
Mm.
then the
Yeah.
other
I
thing,
love that analogy.
was people were doing this AI. There were a lot of AI um,
Oh,
Edits.
tributes, yeah.
tributes, yes, and then artists were some artists were
Which
pissed
I
off.
don't understand. That one I don't get.
Yeah, they were
Honestly.
like, why would you do a tribute to Akira who was not using, like, not necessarily not using AI, but who was a true artist, and you guys are using AI? I'm like, Eva.
No, like that one I didn't get. I was just like, I get you have beef with AI, but like maybe people can't draw and they just want to do a tribute. They're not
Yes.
making any money.
Yeah, yeah.
There's no
Mm.
money being changed here. Like
Can
that's
you
not how
tell me
you
that
get people into art by shaming them or
the
whatever.
people, as much I've been listening to the AI debate for a long time now, and I'm seeing people argue both for and against it, and everybody's trying to draw battle lines where they really shouldn't be.
Yeah.
No, I mean like look, for me I'm picking up pen to paper and all of that stuff all day. But I'm not
Yeah,
gonna stop because AI is here. Like if AI
that's
is here,
the
that's not gonna make me not draw on paper. That's not what's
yeah.
gonna happen.
My biggest argument always has been for me, who grew up with pencil to paper, and then and now grew up in the age of Microsoft Paint. Tell me, Adobe Photoshop for me looks like AI. So it's all new technology is always going to seem foreign to
Yeah. I don't
foreign to
know.
the
I
people.
don't know if you guys are aware that at a point, Renaissance artists and photographers had an issue when the photographer, like when the camera was being introduced. These Renaissance artists, like at the time of Da Vinci and them,
Yes.
they had beef because Renaissance artists just felt like they can capture reality, better than I guess the photographers
No,
at
like
times.
And
here's
also,
the thing, right?
the photography was gonna take the jobs as well. How are they gonna feed their family on top of that? There's also that argument.
Yeah, but I'm saying like here's the thing, right? The beauty of art is people know when it's authentic and when it's not. Like if somebody wants to manufacture something, which these corporations have been doing, you
Yeah.
can
So
look through
it's
Disney
not.
Plus. There's a lot of
It
stuff on Disney Plus where you're just like, this is manufactured. Like this is
Mhm.
straight off the press. Somebody was there in a suit and he was just stamping and stamping and he was bored as he was stamping. Then we come to something like Iwaju. Iwaju, you can feel whoever worked on this thing put their heart and their soul into this. Like you
100.
can feel it in every shot. You can feel it in every
I
character
mean,
expression.
just
You
look
can
at
feel it.
Tola there. At Tola,
Yeah.
sorry.
No, I mean even if you look at the background that me and Extrodin have, like you can see it in the character
Hmm.
design, in their faces, in the shape language. Like even if AI was somewhere
Like their
in here,
nose,
I
the thing,
I would even
like
tell you now. I would even tell you now, if AI was in here somewhere, I would say that they were probably using it just to make sure that they enhanced, or if they were using it to concept and everything, and then they started getting into the real artistry of drawing on the board or whatever. Look, there's like when the internet came around, people were mad. There's always going to be scams. Always.
When the
It's
cars
never
came
going to stop.
around, the horse owners were mad.
So it's
mm,
never going to
When
stop.
what
There's
came out?
always going to be
Cars.
scams.
When cars, yeah.
Yeah, cars.
But
Well,
anyway,
Yeah,
yeah,
because
but I'm saying like the
that
whole point
destroyed the
is
whole
just
horse
to,
industry.
yeah, just to say with the AI, look, to every artist that's panicking out there, like if you put your heart and your soul into the stuff that you make, you will find an audience. And if you
100%.
use AI, because like me personally, when I do figure it out, I am gonna use AI for some of my shows,
Yeah,
not to
no,
make
why
the show,
not, dog?
Okay,
Why
not to
not?
make the show.
It's
I'm
about
pretending to
efficiency at the end of the day.
It's
I'm
enhancement. Yes.
I'm pretending to be the audience. Oh, BuckMeister, betrayer! How could you? We loved you.
Tutas.
Did you like the show? Did you like the show? Yeah, yeah. Mm. That's the point.
No,
Like I'm not
honestly,
saying that I'm gonna use it. Like I'm gonna use it in my workflow, but it's not gonna be what I used to like animate and everything. Like if I'm trying to
Like
generate, like
storyboards.
like storyboards. Like I have shows in my head, right? I have a show in my head, and I don't know how it looks
Yeah,
specifically. So I'm gonna take AI and I'm gonna mash stuff together and see what AI gives me, and then I'm gonna
yeah,
take pen to paper and take what's there and then fix and improve and change and all of that
yeah,
stuff. Like at
yeah.
the end of the day, it's a tool, and if people want to use it
Mm.
badly, which they have, everybody's seen it. You will buy it or you won't buy it. Like you have to understand, you're the audience also. If you mad, don't buy it. But anyway, let's get back to Iwaju.
I like no. Just to close up, a very important thing I've always said. Knowledge is a tool. Whether just like a hammer can be used to build a house or break a spine, it depends on who the person is applying it. Wisdom can only be a tool for good. The wise who take up the tool will always be a benefit to mankind. So, if you need, for by all means, acquire as much knowledge as you can, but develop the wisdom to apply it for good. That concludes my wise moment of the day.
100%.
Anyway, back to Iwaju. I wanted to go on about episode 1. I was talking about the food and the bakbak.
Yeah, yeah.
Mm.
Oh, dog, yo, Tangent Kings. Oh my God,
Yes,
we should get shirts made.
Tencent kids hashtag ADHD squad.
Oh Lord. And then we should even all pose like we're in Kids Next Door.
Yes. Oh yeah, I
Anyway.
want to also add shout out to Mr. Zuko for being properly dressed today. We are thankful for your decency.
Your lack of nipplage.
Yes, we got so many views because of
Hey
him.
man.
I'm so appreciative, but I'm thinking your wife will come with a battle axe one day if you keep exposing you to the masses.
Hey
thank you for
man.
following up.
It was mad hot that you're like, guys, you don't like, I'm from Kimberley, so I know hot. So that day it
You're
was
the
like
Fire Lord, we know.
We know. you don't need to
come
explain.
on, that's it, but ka chesa so na ke chesa ntaka ka chesa wa tseba ha na ke re ka cha bjano ha chesa bjano ha o tshameki.
All right,
Yeah.
then back to the show.
All right.
So
So
she makes the thing, and then she convinces the driver, which we'll get back to the driver because I got issues with the driver. Beautiful design, but
Great character design, though.
I was
okay.
my guy.
I can't wait for this. What's up?
My guy, trust but verify. Anyone who knows when there's a
But look
kid
at
in
those
the house.
eyes. Look at those eyes. Look at those eyes. How can you say
Yeah,
no to those
okay,
eyes?
no.
Oh, I don't even think it was about the eyes. It's just that she was stubborn. So
No, also it's one of those things where you know that if it's the kid's boss, like I mean if the boss's kid, you're just like if I say no and maybe she goes back to her father and he's
exactly,
like,
I'm
this
fired.
man told me no, I'm fired.
And if I say yes and find out that I went against my boss's instruction, I'm also fired.
Bro, that guy is Zazu from The Lion King. You're screwed either way, dog.
Yeah, right.
You're screwed either
Damned
way.
if you do, damned if you don't.
So anyway, back to
But
episode.
also remember, you see that she's used to getting her way, and she has ways and means to get her way.
Yeah, true.
So you can
Yeah.
see
But
she's
but
also
also at the same time,
she's established.
but I'm saying also at the same time, you can also see that she is like she's not malicious. You know,
Yeah.
it's not that kid that they want to get their way so that they can, for a mean sake, or they're
Go to
gonna
the
like
elephant
demean somebody,
graveyard.
or they're gonna
Yeah.
it's not that type of thing. It's just that she literally just wants to see where her father grew up. Like that's it.
Yeah, and
So I
it's not
think
an ego thing. It's not an ego thing. She's not trying to prove herself. She's not trying to. She's just curious because that's a nice thing that you realize from the first episode that she's very sheltered, and because she's so sheltered, she wants. That's why, and that's her motivations for always trying to get out, trying to see these things, trying to ask her father to, can we go there? Can we do this? Can we do this? Because she's very sheltered, and now she's realized, okay, because I'm sheltered, let me be friends. I'm friends with Khala so that I can do non-sheltered things. Let me manipulate the driver so at least I can see what's going on besides what's in my house.
there's something I wanna say though that I noticed, which is something that I think was subtle, and it's something that doesn't happen globally. But the fact that she called the guy uncle. I mean, you would think that that's like the dad's brother, but that's how we do it as Africans.
Yeah.
We call
And,
everybody
and it's something I didn't even bat an eye. Just like, give him a love.
Timalo. But
That
you
is-
know, with other
No, but I
cultures,
mean, even
they call him by the name.
like even
Like,
in
they'll call him
that,
Tom or whatever.
I'm saying like even in that, like that, I use that all the time. Like
Yeah.
even if like it's a cleaner or like it's a dude
Yeah.
who just holds the door.
Yeah,
It's like
Dumelang
dumelang
Yeah.
tate, like that, you
And
know.
I think John Kani actually taught the Americans that because Chadwick Boseman called him Baba all the time. You know,
Because
it's an
that's
African thing.
it's also, you also expected it like it's also prevalent in Indian culture. I'm not so sure in
Spanish, I think, as well. Or
And
could
then-
be
Yeah, Theo.
Let's just
Everyone's
say,
a Theo.
Abuela and all of that. Like even if you're not, you know, but it's like abuela, like it's your.
Yeah, but I know definitely like that. My mom and dad made sure that that's what you call older people whenever you see them. Do not even think for one instant that you can call this person by their, if they have gray beards. Try, I dare you.
So basically, if
are
if
they
you're not
taller
if you're
than
not
you,
a,
child?
if you're not an 8 by 11, then you basically, it looks like you had that in your thing. Because I think I've seen it everywhere. Just like in I've seen it in Asian culture, I've seen it
Yes.
in African culture, I've seen it in South American culture.
Yes.
I was
it
about to
just-
say, if you're not from that certain nation or that certain that north continent, it's north. For us,
descendant of
north-
Vikings.
Yeah. That one.
If you're not from the mountains of Caucasus,
Yeah.
That's why when you get to corporate, it becomes a shock, a certain shock, because now your colleague who's like reaching retirement, you're calling them by their name, dog, and it feels weird. You know what I mean?
I went through one of the biggest culture shocks in my life when I went to a Montessori school, and like I'm used to sir and madam and you know all of that stuff, and they're like, no, my name is Helen, and I was like,
Excuse me, what?
no,
Helen, no.
you're Miss
Okay,
Zilla.
Miss Helen.
No, you're Miss Zilla to me. Like that's. No, I was like, please, just call me Helen. Just try it.
Absolutely not.
Wait, is it Helen Ziller? Because that was just way too convenient, dog. The way you said Helen
I think it's
Ziller
like-
to me.
It was not that one. It was not that one. But
Oh, okay.
Are you sure?
Oh, so there's another Helen Ziller out there?
I wouldn't be here today, Chief. I promise you. If it was that one, I don't think I would have made it.
And she wasn't a Karen, right?
Sometimes she could be. And funny story. We went to Soweto one time, and this black kid came up to me, and he's like, "Oh, are all the white people here to eat us again?" And then all of the white people started panicking behind me, and they're just like, "Please explain that we're just here on tour." And I'm like, "What? I'm not the tour guide. Just talk to him."
That's right. BuckMeister, can you imagine? Hato, I choose you. Communicate with the natives.
BuckMeister, do something.
Like all my white buddies at high school were looking at me and they're like, "No, we're not like that." And I'm like, "I don't know why you're explaining this to me, Chief."
I'm pretty sure he can talk himself. He can speak for himself. Woo! Okay, yeah.
Oh my god!
Back.
Yeah.
Let's come back.
The
Yeah,
Tangent
back
King
up,
strikes
back-
again.
Okay.
Oh my gosh.
Okay, so
Anyway.
it's a birthday.
Okay. Oh, one last thing I just want to say about the thing. I liked how they build the relationships. How they build. You clearly saw who's who in the zoo, and you saw also they build the worlds nicely. In the first like in the first episode, you knew what was happening, who was who. You weren't
No,
like
they
left.
did a great job. Like they did a great job
They
of
did a
even
great
setting up
job.
the character faults. Like they even
Yeah.
did a great job of setting up character faults. Like you get to see that
Hmm.
most of these guys, like they're good people, but you like Tola's character fault is that she's stubborn to a T. Like
Yes.
she
Mm.
thinks that because she's growing up now, she knows better, so she's gonna go throw herself in situations where she's not supposed to.
Mm.
You see that Kole, one of his big character flaw is that he can't stick up for himself. Like as much as he's a capable dude, as soon as he runs
Mm.
into some sort of authority figure, it's shut down. You
I
see
like
Tunde,
him. Actually. I like him the most. That kid.
yeah. You see Tunde, the father. He's a great father, but it's his way or the highway. Much like a lot of our dads. Like
And,
you've seen.
Y'all had dads?
Oh, okay. Okay, your father was Ozai. We
I'm
don't
sorry,
count
I'm
that.
sorry.
Your father was Ozai. We don't count that. You had the fire
You know
lord.
what? You know what? I was so tempted to say something, but I just kept my mouth shut because I don't want to hurt people's feelings. So like
Hey
let me
man,
shut up. Let me shut up.
like my boy like my boy Cortez says, my dad walked out of her life. Nobody will be back.
I was about to make a milk joke, and I was like, let me shut up.
Hey man, I'm still waiting for the milk. That's why I haven't had milk in so many years, man. We're still waiting.
It's,
Whenever you
Like,
go to the
you know,
shops, make sure to avoid the milk section, because it's a
yeah,
trailer.
yeah, because I want him to come back. No, I don't want to take it and then there's no more milk, so then he doesn't come back. So I leave the milk so that there's something for him to bring back.
so Zuko's never had cereal, is what I'm hearing. Ever.
No, Like
Hold up,
even when I
hold
go
up,
to
hold
friends'
up.
places.
Hold up, no. I think I know this. I now know the truth of why you're so young. You're the son of Zeus. Kratos, is that you?
Papa was a rolling stone.
Nah.
Perseus.
Zeus, your son has come to end all of Greece. You
So
will
I
not
should be
see
like
the end
Zacchaeus
just
or
yet.
something like that, right?
Huh?
Oh yeah,
I
no,
should
yeah,
be
he's too chill.
Zacchaeus.
Yeah, you too chill to be Kratos. Kratos was on a 10 all the time.
No, but I'm just saying,
He had to
my name
become
should
a
be like
father
Zacchaeus.
himself for him to learn how to chill. He saw his
No,
son
he
behave
was
like
a
him.
father. Remember, he was a father, then he made himself fatherless, and then he had to become a father again.
No, but no, he saw too much of himself in this boy. He had to become a son of. He had to become a father of a son. When a little boy, he just went, shit, is this me? Damn!
All right, back to Iwaju. Guys, we're
Okay.
tangenting again. Back to Iwaju. Oh my gosh.
I'm sorry, guys.
Anyway, as I was saying, Tunde, the father, you can see that he is a good dad. Like, he loves his daughter and everything, but he's busy, obsessed with work, and also it's his way or the highway. Kids don't speak. They don't like. That's one thing that I also saw with this whole series as a whole. As much as Tola is all, I can do what I want. I'm independent. When Dad put the foot down, quiet, and I was just like,
I guess it shows that not having a mother figure can also affect the child in a sense because you need that balance, you know what I mean? So he's like ruling with an iron fist, but you also needed like someone to say, it's okay, my baby. Dad is, father's just too busy right now, whatever.
I also wanted to mention that you see a whole lot of African upbringing here.
Yeah. I was there. Like, I was looking at.
I saw myself like, no, this is an African story told by Africans for Africans.
Yeah.
You know, it's not like an American who's telling an African story for us, because then we would have had the. But father, it's not fair.
Go to your room right now. Go to your room.
No, like to the point where even Tola talks under her breath. Like, she doesn't even say it out loud, but she's like, yeah.
What was that?
What? Nothing.
I keep forgetting something. What can I that? Yo.
Yeah,
So yeah, we let's continue. I think
Yeah.
Yeah, you
episode
you're
one
finishing the character review, Mr. Buck.
Sorry.
you're
You're
busy talking
finishing the
about the
character review.
Oh, right, right, right.
You did
Right.
Tola, you did Kola, you did Tunde. You just need
And then now we need to get to the bad guy, Bode. Oh my gosh.
Bode.
That is one. I think he's one of the best Disney villains in a long time. Like, I think that's why I wanted this to be a movie, because I think if this got to be a movie, we'd get to see more of his operations, and like you'd see that he'd be on a level of like Jafar or like Ursula or
was given
everything
King.
had he was given more time, if you get what I'm saying.
I was getting an OG Kingpin, from the Spider-Man series you grew up watching.
Yeah.
Not just that his body shape, no, but I'm saying that he had a menacing.
His operations, yeah.
His operation, but there's a lot of cunning behind it. It's not just like I'm big, bulky, broody. Oh, it's you can see how there's a
mind that works. But also, like, when you see his backstory, like, this guy was not.
Wait, is that in episode 1? I don't think that's in episode 1.
in the beginning of episode 2.
Yes.
It's in episode 2.
Okay. Are we sticking to episode 1, or are we like talking
Yeah,
maybe
we
two
are
episodes?
we are doing the first 2.
1 and 2.
Oh, 1 and 2. Perfect. Okay, cool.
So I just
Yeah.
wanted, like you could see, there was no remorse for in it. Like, he was not apologetic at all about his actions. You know what I'm saying?
And also to show the food vibes. I mean, cut to his introduction. He's sitting there in a dark room. He sees glasses. He's scanning the environment. He's eating eggs, and the texture of the egg yolk and everything. I was like, fuck, guys. You know what? You threw everything by the kitchen sink in this animation. Damn.
No, I'm telling you, like when they were in here, they were just like they were in the booth like Eminem on 8 Mile. Doom, 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 doom. His palms are sweaty, knees weak, arms are heavy. Vomit on his sweater already. Mom forget
you want to pay your rent? You want to pay your rent? You see this egg? We need texture.
It needs to
If you want to pay your rent.
I want to see an authentic egg yolk. None of this.
Like I'm
Another
saying, like,
yellow
no,
colored
I'm telling
thing.
you, whoever the animating director on this, and I'm gonna look it up, but whoever was the animation director on this, they were always like, hey, Baba, that hair.
No, I did see
Move
some
it.
Asian names though on the credits.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
No, but I'm saying, like, Kugali Media, when they were making this, they were like, this has to be the best. I don't want, like,
God,
everybody, like, even Bill, when he was
Yeah.
talking about it, he was saying that, like, he was talking about how they went, like, they really put in a lot of work for this. Like, he was sweating and things.
That shouldn't get outdated quickly. Basically, that's not what they were going for. They were going for something that would stand
Yeah,
the test.
no, this is timeless. Like, the way that they set this up as well, like, this can even play, I would say, like 20 years from now.
Yeah.
Because if we look at it, like, they did Afrofuturism, but they didn't do Wakanda, if you get
Yeah.
what I'm saying.
They
Like,
did Afrofuturism. Sorry to interrupt. I just wanted to
go
add
ahead.
they did Afrofuturism, but they didn't ignore the
Classes.
they didn't know the classes. They didn't ignore the poverty. They didn't know. We got to see hawkers in the sky, because I'm thinking obviously there'll be somebody trying to sell something in my car, even if it could fly. The things there that show, hey,
Also, I mean,
the time-
when they talk about the inland and the island thing, you can tell the mainland, inland, whatever. You can tell that there's different classes. These are different classes whenever they're referring to whether you're in the mainland or you're in the inland.
For the
And it
island.
made you even look like it made me even look inward, like to South Africa, because I saw a lot of like correlations here.
Oh yeah, I
Like,
did.
I saw a lot of like, it's like one street looks like this, then you jump to the next street and it looks like this, and everybody's trying to get to that
Sentinel
one.
Alexandra.
Yeah,
Alex,
Yeah, Sentinel.
Listen.
Listen.
yeah. And then you like everybody wants to go to that one street, and there's always that kid who comes from that poor household, and they get on the other side of the street, and then they never want to go back. or whatever.
Then there's also we also have the kid who's from the poor district who has to work in this rich environment and needs to go back, and you can just see the level in which I want like this track record, because we do see I do see it here kind of.
Not even not kind of, definitely.
There's no kind of.
Seeing what?
The
whole thing of where for example, like, you know how maids have to, you know, hop taxis to drive all the way to, like, you know, Bryanston or whatever, and you know they have to clean somebody's house and then they have to jump back in a taxi. Oh, I remember, quick side tangent, is a hilarious story. I just remember on the news there was this lady talking about how her boss told her that she needs to check the tires of the taxi when she's going to work. She's like, you know, you must make sure this is a good taxi before you get in it. You must make sure that the tires are good, and you must do inspection, because you don't want to get in a bad taxi, then you get in an accident. And every black person in South Africa went, stupid. It was just
you think we choose the taxis that we're gonna climb?
You will fire her while she's doing all of these inspections, because she won't get to work on time. How?
And it also just shows how ignorant they are of where they are living.
How ignorant, how there's a tone deafness to understanding the plight of people. Just because they are from, the example I can give from here is like, just because you're from Zimbabwe and now you're working here as a gardener, you people can blithely forget Nonoki gardener, he's just a gardener. You'll be surprised how many of these people have got degrees.
Yeah, because obviously the standard of education in Zimbabwe is far better than ours.
And when I'm talking about degrees, I'm talking about they could be chartered accountants if you're giving them time. But now, but now we are so in our own world, in this gilded palace of Sis Mavis is coming to come polish on Wednesdays. Oh, hello, Mavis. Okay, when you're finished, you can take the little.
I'm saying, Tebello, like, you know, there's no black person, middle class, upper class, anything that was going to tell another black person you must inspect the taxi. Like, as soon as we hear you're taking taxi, we're just like, okay. You get here when you get here.
You'll get it when you get here.
Yeah, I think that's what.
There's no black person. I don't know.
And I think it's something that I guess you could say I've been thinking about for years, that it is a bit unrealistic to expect an employee that's using public transport to come on time, though. Like, for me personally,
I've always had a problem with that, because they don't control the thing. Like, Mr Extrodin has a car, he comes late, and it's like, and he just says, traffic.
Yeah.
I'm in a taxi and I come late and I say traffic, and it's like, no, you must wake up earlier. Why didn't you say the same thing to him? Because he's in control of that, actually.
Like, the taxi
it's never the same.
Would have like 4 queues for one aisle.
And dog, you don't even know that if you're gonna get onto the taxi, because by the time you get to the front, it might be full. Now you have to wait for the next one.
And the queue marshal plays any mini miny more. It's not like this queue is only gonna. No, sometimes
bringing me such memories. Have I told you about the things I went through when I was working at? I was censored at that place.
That bank.
Okay, yeah. When I went at the bank, there you go. Because there are 4 major banks in this country, 5 now. So take a guess which one I worked at. Comment below.
At the banking Arkham.
So what I basically worked
Gotham Bank.
Okay, but you know what the funny thing is, because of the taxis I'm taking, people are going to figure out which bank it is.
No, it's okay. They'll figure it out. You don't have to mention the bank. They'll figure it out.
Literally, Mondays and Fridays were the worst days, because on Monday, everybody who had gone on the weekends had to go back to their place. Had to go back to their flats. I worked around Randburg, so they had to go to the flats. So every morning, I had to go take a taxi, get off at this place called Marabastad, and everybody who's from Pretoria knows Marabastad ain't no place to fuck around, especially in 5 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah.
Marabi.
So I'd walk there in the dark, basically dark. You can see there's a place where people would fall asleep there in the corner. You can feel their breaths in the dark. You can't see them, but they can see you. and you can walk faster.
Bafanas.
But only, somebody explained it quite well. It's like one of the advantages of having, there's a sleeper build where you look scrawny but you're actually muscular.
Mm.
And then there's the opposite. I forgot what it's called. I just call it the Broly build, where you're huge, and there's no denying it.
Mm-hmm.
The advantage of being huge is it's like literally walking to a room and you find you're sitting next to an adult male lion. You subconsciously are gonna do whatever it takes not to engage with this lion or irritate it, even if it's playing with a ball of yarn. It doesn't matter. You're gonna sit in the corner and make sure that the lion is doing its job, and that's the advantage I've had being this 6'2".
Hona, some of us, we didn't have that. No chance.
Yeah, so
In
when you
that-
walk there,
Mele shayibhizolo nje, uqala umkhapha nje.
Dude, people are actually afraid of you. They think you are after them. They're like, oh, flip, that guy's there. Flip.
Hona, no chance. Hey, being tiny. And
It's the
it's
only-
worse if you're tiny with an accent like this, because now people think you're American taking a taxi and they're like, oza bafanas, yeah.
Imagine being tiny with glasses. They're like, shaba matlazana, hozalana matlazana.
now you have to be Bruce Lee in the dojo. You have to fuck up everybody.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is how it's like to grow up in Africa.
Indeed.
I
But
mean,
I do know. I do hear that New York is a different move.
No, I'm saying like the thing is though is like the thing is when what we hear of New York, because I haven't been, so I don't know. But like what we hear is that like there's one train and it goes from here to here. The thing is with the taxis, and it's always been confusing to me, is this and this like they mean totally separate things, and they can go any which direction. And
This
even
is a
there's
taxi
reason why
sign.
where
This
you
is a
see
taxi
this.
sign. This is a taxi sign. This is a taxi sign.
This
This is a taxi sign. This is a taxi sign. This is a taxi sign. And all those signs I've made, you going to different places.
Like, oh, so they
Yeah,
have
they
some truth.
they mean different things to different places.
Yeah.
There's this as well.
And also, oh yes, and this, the only universal one is this is town, this is local.
Yeah.
But the rest, like in Joburg, this could be. I remember this one is something like this. It's you're going to, what's the taxi rank? Barra. You're going to Barra. But here in like Pretoria, this could be somewhere. This could mean something else.
Entirely different, dog. Like you.
You know
Yeah,
what?
so
We need to get a taxi geek into the show
Yeah.
and talk about the different styles, because it's a subculture on its own. And
But
it's
I'm
the
saying
first
also,
universe.
you know what that taxi geek needs to do? He needs to develop like an app or a taxi library where you can just have all the signs, so you can
exactly like
that's what.
imagine I'm
We have
imagine
taxi-
I'm new to Pretoria now. I have to catch a taxi to. I have to catch a taxi to Mr. Khala in the north. I don't know where to catch a taxi. I go on the app. I'm like, okay. Oh, I go to whatever. I go to Propaganda, whatever that street is there. There's the taxi that goes there. I go to Van
No,
der
I'm
Waal.
saying,
Yes, thank you.
Like Tebello was saying, you have to be a ninja from the hidden leaf. It's like
Yeah.
how?
He knows the theater.
And,
He's one of us.
even when you get to the taxi after doing that sign, you have to confirm with the taxi driver. You don't just get in there.
And bro, sit in the front. Oh my gosh!
And then you've
now you're
Taxi
an
man,
accountant.
taxi man, taxi. The only time you see me in the front, if it's the taxi, is 10 rand or 20 rand or 30. Like, let me tell you my taxi math nightmare. So I worked in Selby. I lived in Pretoria, so I had to catch the Gautrain, blah 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 blah. But now the taxi that I catch to Selby, it went to Inefela ko Orlando East. So Inefeta ka Orlando, Inefeta ka Pimville, if I remember correctly. And then Inefeta ka, there's another one. There were like 3 stops on there. And then Inefeta ka Selby. So my stop in the morning was 8 rand.
Oh God.
No, it was 10 rand. Sorry, it was 8 rand or 10 rand.
Oh my
One of those.
God.
Anyway, let's say 10 rand for thingy. And then the next stop after that was 12 rand. And then the next stop was 13.50. And then the next stop of that was 14.50.
Wait, dog, this is for a single trip?
This is this is the same taxi. It's going. I get it. Yeah, it's like
Or distance?
Different stops.
yeah, different stops. So let's say the first 10 Ks it's 8 rand, and then the next 5 Ks after that it's 12 rand, and then the next 5 Ks after that it's 13, like that.
Right.
Sharp. So you get in the taxi and you get 213, 112, 118, and that now you know, and then you have the amount of money, and then you get another one, 214, 113, and now you gotta calculate that, and so forth and so forth. You in the front.
Dude, for me, it's when like someone says, you know,
and now it's worse because the driver can't even tell you. The driver can't even tell you. I'm supposed to get 300 for this.
Yeah.
For a full taxi, I get 300. So you can't just like put 300 away and like, okay, what's left here is the change. So I need to figure out.
Because prices are different.
Yeah. But
You know,
now
like-
because prices are different, so if you get 50 rand and there's 214s and 113, now you gotta first do the.
Yeah,
but
that's
now
what-
remember, and it's probably different change for different people.
Yes. That's what I wanted to get to, because obviously a seat, like it's a row, like each row is like 4 people, no? But then you find that I came with my sister, right? But my sister is on a different row, and I'm paying for her. So I would take out $50 and say 2, and then get 3, the money for the other 3 people, and one person is probably has like another $50 for one. So I'd say 2, 1.
Yeah.
Hey,
And
dog.
the other person has 100 for 3 people at the front. So it's
And now,
like 2, 1, 3 with 100.
And that time the taxi is 12 rand 50. Now you're working with decimal points.
Yes, and some of the people I actually have to get off by the next like 4 robots, which means you need to get this change quickly before the 4th robot, dog, because you don't want to keep the taxi driver waiting. Because these guys are, hey, what's the change?
Yeah. Now it gets worse. It gets worse with my story because it's it's 5 it's donkey o'clock in the morning. The line goes over the horizon because everybody's going back to Randburg. You're standing in this line. You're working in the bank, and the way they psychologically traumatized you into thinking that if you're late from the bank, you're stealing from the bank, and you never steal from the bank. That's how they psychologically now put that in the back of their head.
But how are you stealing from the bank if you're late?
Because they pay you in advance. That's what they told you.
Oh, because of the time.
Yeah, so what happens is that you're being paid for all these 8 hours, and if you're late, it means that they've already paid you for an hour that you haven't worked. Psychological trauma.
Hectic.
So that being said, you're waiting in that line, you're going there, you're a huge behemoth. So there's no way in hot hell that you're going to sit at the back unless there's an Iveco. You're praying for that Iveco to come because you want to sleep. It's donkey's tired. But no, in comes a normal sized
Super T.
Super T. Where they just take one look at you. The worst one is the Q marshal look. He looks at me like, Mama, ask his support. I would in the front, Mama, do you come? Immediately, and I believe at the time I was traveling there, it used to be 40 rand per person to go to town, to go to Randburg. And you can imagine the mental dysnesis. Somebody just comes up with a 200 rand note, 6 o'clock in the morning.
Oh, and the driver doesn't have change. You can't give.
And the driver doesn't have change, so now you have to stop at the garage to get change, or you asking the passengers. And things like that.
Was it a quantum developer? Was it a super T or was it a quantum?
It could have been a quantum. No, it wasn't a quantum. No, it could have been. Yeah. Yeah, better. But the worst part is that by this point, all the taxi drivers begin to know you because you're the big guy sitting in the front. So they expect you to be as angry as they get when someone comes with the 200 red note. And
Yeah.
they're supposed to like, what the? Give my
Yeah.
200
100 and then the driver
But
like, yeah, that's
the
right.
worst, the worst person to sit next to in front is the person that's not helping you at all. They just give you the money.
Hey, Munna.
Dog.
Dog, I'm mad. Now I'm looking at you like, chick, we both here. We both.
The worst
That
part
time,
about
and that time,
And
my
Sheba,
Sutu is terrible. This guy's Sutu is great, and he's not doing anything. It's like, Munna.
No, mine. I was sitting alone. There was just the engine there, and then driver. It was me. It was just me and Jesus, and you had to do your maths. Yo, okay, that ends the trauma. Let's come
I
back.
have taken out my cell phone to calculate. I was
Yeah.
not playing that game.
Yeah, straight up.
I have asked the driver. I would literally go to the driver. 100 rand, 3 change guy, and he'll
Oh,
tell
for
me,
real?
and then I'll take the change.
Ah, shut up.
No, dog, I was not playing. And no, this other driver was like calculated. I was like, I eat.
Drug.
I told him, I eat. I literally said that to him. I was like, I am not gonna crack, because the first few times you're like, yo, I need to do this. Otherwise, and then I was like, no, man.
Nah, screw this. Yeah.
I am
No,
paying
one
for
time,
this. Why
one
am I
time,
working
one
for
time I
I'm paying?
swear,
I'm not getting a
one
discount
time
for
I
working.
swear. One time I swear, I was like, my stop was the next stop, and I had the change in my hand. Now I was like, here's my $20. Here's everybody's money. Get out. Peace. Got out. Everybody was like, I was like, see.
You should point out.
I remember my friend who's like a
Dog,
brother.
I was about to combat roll out of the taxi. That's how I was like, I'm not dealing with it.
My
Like,
friend
even as it was going, I was gonna open the door and just good.
actually my brother, we're not blood related, but we're brothers. So you know what he did? He went in front. He didn't pay, but he was calculating everybody's money, and he was really good. So when the driver got the amount and he realized that one person was missing, he's like, "Hey, who didn't pay?" And because he's in front and he's counting the money, nobody would suspect him for not paying. And he's acting like, "Yo, I paid. Like, what's going on in the back there?" Dog, he got away with it scot-free, my G.
Lucky son of a bitch.
Wow.
Anyway,
Anyway, getting
I'd be
back
so
to
nervous. I'd be so
getting back
nervous
to
to get
Cody.
away with that, man.
back
Okay,
to
let's
what
finish this off, man. Come on.
I think what I like about our tension in this case is it's so related to our experience in this movie and seeing the cognitive dissonance.
Yes.
Because the lesson I'd like to take away from just the first 2 episodes is you can only shelter children for so long. They need to get out there and see the world. You know?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, like that's the beauty of the relationship between Kole and Tola, is you can see that, like you can see that because Tola was raised well. Like you can see she was raised with compassion and everything. It's not like she was raised like you must.
It's not. She didn't come
Yeah.
Dad or whatever, yeah.
Yeah,
like
I'm
I'm
saying-
rich.
Yeah, you don't get that from her. Like to the point where she even, I think in episode 1 or 2 where she wants to help Kole with the with the garbage.
That's
or
it's
whatever.
episode 1.
Yeah.
And she even and in episode 2 she invites him for dinner because like the dad's not coming. She's just gonna be.
And then the
she's like,
chef
I
is
don't
like,
want to eat alone.
I
And
want-
Tola's my
I-
friend, so
Hey, that chef was spicy. Woo.
I would have been like, if you see this way, show manners. Because if it was any other girl, if I was that girl in that situation, I would have like, I would say, why did Platy just one cake? How?
No, it
And
would
that
even
also shows,
it would even be like whoa, pause. What Hananiso? What?
And it's weird though, because the dad grew up in the slums, I'm assuming. So why would he behave the way he's behaving? Shouldn't he be more understanding? I don't.
No,
That's
like
something
remember that's the thing you gotta understand. Okay, Zuko's got something to handle. Hope he comes back. But I'm saying like that's the thing that you gotta understand. There's a lot of that mentality that goes around a lot of the time. Like I'm not a person who grew up in Kokasi or whatever, but I used to visit because I had family members there. But I always hear all the time about how it's about you gotta get out. You gotta get out. You can't go back, and you can't do the things that you used to do when you were there because that will take you back to that mentality, and then you will regress back to that environment and regress. Like people get it in their mind that to be successful, you must be removed from these things.
From the
And it's just
environment,
like
yeah.
and it's like those environments, if they just get nurtured properly, there's so much richness and so much culture and so many things and so much
So much-
potential that can come from those things.
Mhm.
But because everybody's wanting to get out, now everything gets out, the money gets out, and your whole attitude and behavior. Like Tunde, the father, he's a typical case of. It's not about forgetting where you come from or whatever, because that's a different story. But it's a thing of running away from reality. The reality is you grew up.
Yeah.
And that place, like other places, it has its darkness, it has its light. But now you forgot about the light completely, and now you want to shut it out, and you want to say there was nothing good about where you came from.
Yeah, but that's messed up. The fact that this kid is hustling at such a young age, he's
That's
cleaning your yard and
Instead of
whatever.
going to school.
And you can see, you just saw him fix a robot, your robot. You saw him fix it.
And
The way
that
you're talking about
that
it, you're
scene
talking
alone
about it.
would have been like, how did you fix that? Like,
Yeah.
kid, like
Tunde is afraid of I think it's Ajay Gunle. I think that's how you say it. I'm not sure, but I'm saying anything that can remind him of anything about that island. Like you can tell he's a person where he came from, it's not a place where he wants to be anymore, and he's forgetting that he was that small kid fixing robots. And he's forgetting because like now he's blinded by where he is now and how he has to shelter his little girl from anything that came from there because he's just like she's not ready for this. A lot of parents do
And the
that.
fear of going back also. The fear
Yeah,
of going
a lot
back.
of a lot of parents do that. A lot of parents have that thing of I can't take my kids to where I come from. I can't.
Also, that comes with being short-sighted. Because what if, I don't know, maybe I'm reaching here, but what if after seeing that he could have just told this kid that, look, I'm busy with this thing, I'm trying to fix this. Do you think there's something that I'm not seeing? With the gecko. You know what I'm saying?
Or maybe not that, but he could have like offered like, hey man,
Like
that
an
was pretty
intention,
good.
yeah.
I can see you got a little brain.
Well,
Why
like,
aren't you at school? Like just find out a little bit to nurture the talent.
Again, it's not about nurturing the talent because it's about I can't be there.
Associate.
And I can't
be
have
associating.
anything. No, not even like that association, but that association is directly linked to I grew up in poverty. I cannot go back there.
it's a trauma response. That's what I wanted to
Mm.
say. It's a trauma response because other people, and I think that's the difference between people who got out of there with compassion and people who got out there with the fear of survival. The compassionate ones who see that they will always want to find a way to bring out other people out there with them, and
But I mean, like for me, Tebello, I think the problem is framing it as the getting out. Like we shouldn't make those places prisons.
yes.
Like Soweto, I never grew up there. I just visited family there, but I see a whole lot of potential in that place. And I'm like, if they could just change just a little bit, you shouldn't make it a prison. It shouldn't be a place people have to escape from. It should be a place where people can live in, Jay. But like Tunde, he's the quintessential. I got out. It was a prison. It was holding me back.
Never
I
going
can't
back.
take myself there. I can't take my daughter there. There's no chance.
But I just wanted to give the example of the particular scene in question where you see someone has potential and that potential can actually prosper their lives. I've seen many cases where somebody sees that and they see themselves in this kid because he's hustling to survive, and then they are moved to act like, kid, you've got something, let's see if you can do it. Chief among that is my mom. My mom does this all the time because she's been, I mean, I remember the times she'd go on and on about how she used to literally after whenever school holidays came around, she needed to sell mealies so that she can make enough money to take the train to go back to school. And now that she's made it back, whenever she sees someone hustling, she will always go the extra mile. And that's when you see somebody who has gotten out, but like the context I'm trying to say, who's gotten out but is trying to make it so that everybody can make something of themselves, as opposed to don't look at these people. Don't ever
Yeah,
look
no,
at
and I mean, even like Tunde, when you hear him admonishing her, and you get mad at him because he's like, you like this nice food, you like this nice house, and what, and you're just like, my guy, you like, you
Talking to a
can't.
10-year-old dog.
who's
Talking to
had
a
nothing
10-year-old.
but nice food.
But at the same
Exactly.
time, as a 10-year-old kid, I was there. Like I was told like you see this house and you see this and you see, and I'm like bruh.
Yeah, that's the thing that always gets me going about that argument. I don't have a context.
But also, I feel
I'm
like
always had.
You know what did Trevor say? What did Trevor say? I didn't ask to be born.
I didn't have
Like
to be fun.
I'll pay for the Alzkamel. You see, here's the Alzkamel.
The
Here's the Alzkamel.
25,000 was the ultra.
But I feel like, and the dad, whenever this his daughter's trying to bond with him, he just like crashes her. I'm like, I feel like, you know, like
And in some cases,
when we were
it's so inadvertent. Like
when
it's your daughter's birthday. You didn't even
yeah,
give time to sit down at the damn table until it was late at night, and then you're like, oh my gosh, she's 10 years old.
when my
forgot.
daughter, but when Rob and I were doing the Lion King review, we were talking about moments where Mufasa, even though he was pissed off about what Simba has done, he still understood that he's dealing with a kid, then reverted back to just being a father and playing with Simba. Simba would bite his ear and whatever, they would laugh about it and whatever. But he would still put the message across that, look, Simba, it's dangerous, don't go back there, this and that and that. This one, not even time to
Yeah,
play.
that days where mom and dad are so busy that they don't know they don't notice their existence at that point in time. Look,
But
I
like
see
also
so much of
remember,
my
just to be fair to Tunde, we also have to remember
yeah
he's under a crazy deadline.
yeah
His
I
investor
get
is on
that.
his back.
Yes,
No, I'm
Yeah.
saying it's that thing of
And the
he's
prototype
worried
isn't
about
working.
yeah, and he's worried about, and now he's seeing this Ajay Gunle kid messing with his kid. In his mind, he's tying this thing to if I fail, I'm taking me and my daughter. It's not just me anymore. It's
Right.
me
yes.
and my daughter, and we're both regressing backwards. So now I have to be on this thing. It's
Uh,
typical
we
survival instinct
we
thing.
get to see it from both sides because, like I said, I see a lot of myself in this girl. I mean, I won't kid you not, that many birthdays I've shared alone. Mom and dad were somewhere else in the world. I know that feeling. I also know it from that perspective that bitch, we need to work our ass off to make this thing a thing.
Right.
And that's why there are some people, these arguments you hear in these movies, like especially the American movies, like you never were there for me, Dad. I never have that because I always knew, like, bitch, this thing came from somewhere.
Right.
But
Get
I,
this,
I,
some shit
I,
had to
I,
be given. What's that Bone Thugs and Harmony song? There's always something you gotta give up to get everything you want.
yeah, I just remember the line from the Pirates of the Caribbean movie. The third one was like, "For the things we want most in the world, there's a cost to be paid for it in the end."
Yeah. It's economics. Yeah.
Yeah, man. That's what I'm saying. Like this show in the first two episodes, it's given us so much context and perspective. And like it, I mean, even if we look at Kole, you get to see that Kole, he also understands that as much as this nice stuff exists, it's not for him, not yet.
Yes.
And
Yes.
he's got to build it from the ground up for himself. But you
Right.
never get the feeling that Kole is going to hold that against Tola. Like
Yeah.
you can
No.
see Kole is able to compartmentalize. Like unlike Bode, like if you look at it, Kole is like him and Bode,
A younger
they're like
Bode.
two halves. Like they're like two halves of the same coin. If you get what I'm saying. And like Kole definitely has it harder than Bode did at the time. If we look at their two situations. Yeah, especially as the story progresses, you'll definitely see. But you get to see like what's this? You get to see Kole. He's also a person with compassion because he's not looking at them like food. Like like how there's this thing of eat the rich, or you look at the rich people as food.
Yes.
He's not
Yes.
seeing
Yeah.
Tola as food. He's not seeing her as a means to get up or get by. He literally just wants to put his head down, work and hustle, and do it quote unquote the right way or whatever.
Mm.
The other, just wanted to highlight with regards to what you're explaining with the. Oh no, now I lost my train of thought. Come back. It has such a good point.
We literally
Was it
need the
about how I
dial-up,
was
the
talking
dial-up
about
sound
the?
now.
Was
We
I
need the
talking about
dial-up
like
sound now.
the Bode and Kole? Was it something to do with Bode and
Oh,
Kole?
there you go. Yes,
That's
thank
it.
you. Another thing that also showed me that's a very interesting subplot is that the girl is incredibly lonely.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think that's why she wants
Yeah.
to dance with Kole. She
Yeah.
like there's
And the
She's
thing
with
that
Cleaning,
trash.
helping clean. She just
Helping
she just
clean.
wants to be
Yeah.
not be by herself.
the
Like
thing that
which child wants to clean? Like honestly,
Yeah.
unless they have a bit of OCD, no child wants to be cleaning.
which just
And
brought
baking and everything.
yeah.
Like
Mm.
You're in a house, you're all alone, and the only person who's close to your age is this kid outside of our window dancing. Dad, are you sure you're are you sure you're gonna have an issue with me inviting him to eat with me? Because who else do I eat with?
Exactly.
I also
So
love that she changed their plates as well, and that she found his plate super delicious. It was just like you can see she's wanting a new experience.
yeah,
Like all the
Yeah.
food that you've been giving her, she's like, I'm used to this now. Let me eat something different.
and no
I've
matter
been
how much
eating
I've
this
grown up
like
with time,
this
is like,
gourmet gourmet
people.
is jam and
Yeah,
bread to me. Like
look, I'll give it another personal example. Hilarious. Growing up, my mom used to hate this. You know the porridge, the soft porridge. Yes, you never say you
I
never
was
say
that also. I
moto
also hated it. Oh,
until it was made. Until it was made at my I was at my cousin's place and I had it for the first time, and that thing was the most delicious thing I've ever had in my life. I was like, this thing with sugar, it slaps like. And
Right.
it's that are like you hear no people have it with butter, some people have it with like no, but there's with the one with the
peanut
milk.
butter.
Peanut butter.
And then first thing I did when I got home, you will teach me this jutsu. You watched me. There were times I was like, hey, look, we are going through a bit of a financial tough time, blah blah blah. You know, for this month, you're just gonna have to tighten your pockets. And people be worried like, oh no, what will these people eat in the house? There's me.
Then you had this.
Where's the pap?
You had this light bulb
Yeah.
moment.
no, like for me, that was me and Inkomas. Like I never used to like that as a kid, and then I poured some sugar on it, and I'm like, dog, what have I been missing?
So
Eh,
I would
that's
say
that's
for me,
yoga. That
that for me
that's
was with
yoga. Lady.
that for me was with Movite. I never hated it, but at a point I was so broke. This was like even 10 years ago. I was so broke that I would eat that thing like 3 times a day, dog. And it was amazing.
Let me tell you, to this day,
You know when I started enjoying Movites? So I'm in varsity. So you know
yeah,
you got a ration because you need money for food, you need money for transport. Like I lived on res, so I never needed money for
right.
transport for school, maybe for like to go out or whatever. And then you need going out money. So I discovered one. I used to have my wheat bix with just water because milk was just ridiculous.
Yes,
Yeah.
okay. Best anyway.
I literally cut out milk within like up by my first term. I stopped buying milk. By the end
Yeah.
of the first term, not even first term, I stopped because I used to buy a six of milk because six of milk was like $40, $50 at that time.
True.
So I stopped buying milk and I just have my wheat beaks with hot water and some sugar.
Yeah.
That was it. And then I discovered a homie of mine who was like, nah, dog, buy powdered milk and pour it in just to give that a little bit of flavor. And
Yeah.
then I did the same thing with my Morvite. And
Yeah.
your boy I never went hungry again, bro.
It slaps, bro.
Let me tell you.
It's stabbing,
I-
bruh.
You gotta
More
understand,
bites.
when we relate this back to Iwaju, this is like the stuff that we're seeing Kole go through. Like the stuff
Yeah.
Kole's going through, you're like, yeah, no, not that even like I've been there like that. I mean, I have been broke at points when I was living by myself and I had to make a plan, but it wasn't like, what Kole was going through. But like you get to see it and you're just
Yeah.
like, yeah, I've seen this before. And I'm like, hey, dog is going through the most. Like
another
which
example.
I think even like the episode it's episode 2 when he's walking home, right?
Yeah.
No, no, it's 3.
Yeah.
No, isn't it
No, it's
when
the
he's
end of
trying to get on the
It's the end
yeah,
of episode
When
2.
you get on the bus.
On the bus, right? That's episode
yeah, when
3.
he's trying to get on the bus and you
Isn't that the
even
end of
feel him because
episode?
yeah, it's the end of episode 2 because you see that he's got his last monies and he's like, I'll walk home, dog. It's fine.
Because it's like what,
In the rain.
he had 100 and then the bus was 200, right?
For some
Yeah.
reason.
A
Like, what?
1,000. It was 1,000 naira. It was 2,000 naira.
Oh, he had 1,000 naira.
Yeah, so
Yeah. No,
I
and
want-
actually he had the money, but he was just like, bro, you are like ripping me off. Because
Because
and,
I think that you get to see there's 2 people that walk onto the train and they only pay once.
yeah.
And then there's like another person and they pay twice, and then this one is asking him to pay twice, and you're just like, but why?
No, but if you noticed, the woman paid with 1, and then the men paid with 2.
Oh.
So the men were paid,
Oh.
yeah.
Yeah, but
That's another thing I wanted to, when we were talking about the dinner scene. Notice how the cook, who is probably not rich, is treating the poor boy poorly.
like a scrub.
The bus driver, the bus, let's call him the bus conductor. Let's call him a conductor, for lack of a better word. He's also not rich, but he's also exploiting
But it's like that.
the poor. So and it's a reality for us. Like we get exploited more by people who were supposed to be helping us than people up there. We get exploited by people who are here. Yes, the people up there exploit us. Let's not get that twisted. But however, the person who knows your struggle, instead of saying like, "Yo, Zuko can only afford 500. Let me charge him 500, and because this thing only costs me 300, I'll still make a little 200. I'll still make something. It's not like I'm not gonna be making anything. But instead of that, then I'll charge Zuko 1,000 because he's poor, and because you're gonna only afford 500, I'm gonna charge him 1,000.
And he has to go home.
Yeah, but then when a person who can afford 1,000 comes, and they'll charge them 500 type of vibes.
So yeah.
Yeah, so that's also another thing I noticed. Which, we've seen how people on, let's say, our quote unquote our level treat us worse than people who are up on a level above us.
Yeah.
And it's not even a competition thing. It's not a case of like, if me and BuckMeister are working on the same job, me and Extrodin are in the same job, so I need to be better than him so that I can be higher than him. It's just we on the same level, we're both pushing, but I'm pushing him down, even though it's not gonna lift me up.
Yeah.
Yeah, like she's not gonna get like a raise just because she was mean to the poor kid.
Exactly.
If anything, it's gonna make your job a little more difficult because the more she sees the behavior, the more she's gonna grow up. The more she's gonna say, "This, you know what? This chef needs to go."
Yeah.
Lots of levels to this show, man. Lots of levels to this show.
Lots of levels. Oh,
Like also shout out to the voice actors. They were amazing.
I just wanted to highlight one last broke ass food that I had. This was back in high school. Like I literally used to take 2 slices of bread and put tomato sauce in between, and that was my lunch because there was nothing else. That chick slaps. I could have that now, actually.
It does.
I prefer mayonnaise instead. But yeah.
I also
I was
stopped
a
using
mayo
butter
kid.
because I
I was a mayo
realized
kid.
the thing with mayo, you could use it for anything, so it didn't limit me.
Yeah.
So I just because you could use it for bread, you could use it for in your pastas, you can use it in your rice, whatever. So
potatoes.
let me tell you, quick guys, I have to go and an adult. So before I go adult, my last broke story. So me and my homie, it's literally like the day before we get money. We have nothing. Like the homies are out. Our girlfriends are at another res, so we can't now, and it's late. Karna transi, so we can't go there. Rahospina dijo, nothing. We literally only have spaghetti and soup powder. That's all we've got. So we chilling. We're like, nah, dog, let's cook this and let's do the soup powder for flavor. It could be like a little, our little rigatoni or whatever it's called, Alfredo. We'll
Noodles.
do the, yeah, no, not noodles, like proper
Yeah.
spaghetti. So we cook the spaghetti, we put the soup powder in, and now because it's soup powder, it becomes a little thingy.
FS.
So we chowed it like that, and that was our
Damn.
right before payday meal. Like when we were broke, we'd make sure we have a little pasta, we'd have a little soup powder, so that we just mix it in, because then kana ke soap, so it's not dry.
Yeah.
So the pasta's not dry. So Yahweh.
Dang.
So that was like
I
that was
think
a that was an awesome meal. Like being broke will make you creative as fuck.
Mm.
Yeah, that's
Okay,
true.
but Zuko, just before you peace out, then, your final thoughts on episode 1 and 2 of Iwaju?
Uh, uh, Brilliant build up, brilliant introduction. You understand. Well played out. You saw glimpses of the character's character, and you saw the build of the story. You could see the direction of the story. You understood it. Tone was lovely. It was the animation. Mwah, it was a joy. Like I thoroughly enjoyed this whole thing. Like I thoroughly enjoyed it. Like literally, my only so-called criticism would be it could have been a movie. That's literally it.
I
That's
agree
my
with
biggest
you.
criticism of this thing.
Mm.
Tola was ridiculously cute. She was manipulative, but just for good reason. Kole was cool. Tunde was proper Miss Happiness. You could see there
Hey,
was a little cleverness hidden in there, but it was being
she's
suppressed
never happy.
by.
I don't know how she got
Hmm.
that name.
That's probably why she got that name. You know, a lot of names are ironic.
Yeah.
Happiness. Really good
Like
goodness.
like me and Tebello would both be Mike, but because I'm older, I'd be Big Mike, and he'll be Little Mike.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Alright, my people, I will check you on the flip. We will continue with this, and I will make sure that I don't have to leave early. I will adult earlier in the day so that I
And
don't have
just
to adult at this time.
no problem.
Peace
All
out,
right,
Fire
later, guys.
Lord.
Shout out, man.
Cartoon.
Anyway, I think we should go into our closing thoughts. 'Cause
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
also we're coming to a close, because I think we tangented a lot, but if you look at like, for anybody who's just watching the episodes, you will see exactly how everything we spoke about here connects to what we've seen in this
Yeah.
series.
100%.
Like the fact, like there's so many parallels between, like, and that's why it really gets to me sometimes when I see like black people across this continent like beef with each other so hard. It's just like, dog, we so much, like, a lot of the times we live the same lives. I don't know what we're fighting so hard over.
we are so much alike we are so than our differences is actually ridiculously scary.
Yeah.
There is such a richness to us.
Like,
We are
even the fact, like, even if you look at how Tola and how Kole speak, like,
yeah.
it's both English, but like, yeah, Kole
Pigeon.
speaks pidgin.
It's pigeon. Mm.
But I'm saying, like, you've also met somebody that, like, they do that. Like, they speak Sutu they speak English, but they keep going in Sutu words or whatever the
Yeah.
case may be.
Yeah.
Or whatever. And then you get, like, people like me who are speaking this type of English and whatever. But we'll be having a conversation and we can understand each other perfectly.
Yeah. Because Kole kind of sounds like a rich kid, if that makes sense. Yes, she does say this. those
Oh,
type
you
of,
mean Tola?
sorry, Tola, yes, Tola. But you can hear a bit that she's a bit, you can tell she's from an affluent family. Like
Yeah.
some of her accent kind of sounds slightly a bit Westerniana, but at the same
No,
time
but
you
I'm
can
saying
hear
even the way she speaks, her cadence, her word choice, you can hear that she went to school, her father was drilling English. Her father
Yeah.
was like, learn the English, learn the
This was the
English.
proper higher grade English, I beg.
Like it was even a commentary on how parents like sometimes fear and it's especially prevalent on the African continent because I mean I went through this as a kid. Like my dad was afraid of me learning like his home language for fear of how I would sound growing up. It was like because when you're a full grown adult, the accent you have, people won't take you seriously when you're out there or whatever. Now that I
yeah,
have this accent, quote unquote, when I speak, people are like, "Oh, he's well spoken. This guy knows what he's talking about," type of thing. We've seen that that doesn't translate. Many people are smart. It just doesn't matter what they sound like. It's just that your perception of what they are. So you can see exactly Tunde drilling that into talk. Because even when she was introducing herself, or whenever she was having conversations with people, you can see that she was always doing that Queen's English thing, and it was
Yeah.
simply because that's what people take seriously over something like the pidgin or the Yoruba or whatever it is, and all of
Right.
that stuff. And it's like, yeah, no, that's a thing that's prevalent across this whole continent. It's something that does need to change, but yeah, it's a parent worrying about their kid.
Yeah. My dad was the exact opposite. You will learn your African language. I will beat it
No,
into
I
you.
mean, my dad wanted me to learn, but it was this thing of like, it was this thing of like, if you don't, because also where we were studying, everything was in English. So it
Yeah,
was like, if you don't know
same,
the English, no, I'm
same.
saying,
But
I envy your dad a
I
little
clearly
bit.
remember. I clearly remember years where my father would not. I would have to address my father in sort. I could not speak to him in English. Like he would not answer me.
I do wish I had some of that. I honestly do. But is what it is at the end of the day. But yeah, that's the thing is like I know a
But
lot of kids like that.
now the downside was that now it's either I speak. It's like like if you're. I'll give you the example from Game of Thrones. It's like you speak the common tongue and then you speak High Valerian. You don't even speak
Mm,
common Valerian. It's
yeah.
so, and by the time I got to tertiary, the guy like, hey, so just how? See, quoi? We can't follow you. And I'm thinking like, but this is what I grew up talking.
yeah. You were taught proper Soto. It's like, I don't know if you remember, like even in when you're watching like martial arts films and whatever, and then you hear like a Donnie Yen speaking English, you can hear that this English is the English he learned at school, Baba. It's not English from the streets.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, let's close things up. My score so far, it may not sound fair, but I'm thinking I'm gonna give this like a 9. I was gonna give.
If we're only grading episode 1 and 2, I'm gonna give it an 8. But if we talk about the whole series,
I loved it. Maybe because I'm riding the high of watching this just so close after I watched a certain other show we shall not name.
ah,
It's such a breath of fresh air, and I just loved every single second of this presentation. I really did. So
the
that's
music
why
was great as well. Oh my
the
god.
music. The music was great. The portrayal of Afrofuturism was great. The animations quality was great. The storyline and the storyboarding and the plot direction and the direction and everything like that was also done well. I wasn't being spoon fed things that I already know, and it was also inviting for people who don't know the culture to come and see this because I could see this from a Westerner's perspective. They'll be inviting to seeing this. That
No, I
show
mean
that
even like for like South Africans or people from other countries or whatever, you get to
yeah,
see that the things that we build up in our minds, it doesn't really exist. Like you like our idea of Nigeria and what this is two different things, and you get to see exactly the through lines that make us so similar, even though there's things that make us different. So I really thought they managed to capture that so well, and they did it organically. You can tell that these were people just telling their story and
yeah,
letting
because
us figure it out.
They weren't trying to force feed a narrative or force feed. These people were always arguing against woke culture. It's getting so woke. It's because of the ways the story is being communicated in some cases where it just falls flat. You don't have to spoon. You don't have to take it and shove it down my throat. I can get the inferences from just seeing the situation.
Yeah, like you don't have to like Tola is a beautiful female character, but she's not sitting every 5 minutes telling us how she's independent and all of those things. She's going out and doing
I'm a
things and
woman.
falling on her face and then
Yeah.
getting up and just doing stuff again. It's not her looking at the camera every 2 seconds like, yeah, I'm a girl. It's like, no, we know. We know. And
Anyway,
also, like what I love about the story is that it rewards Tola and punishes Tola like accordingly. Like
Yes.
when she's right, she's right. When she's wrong, she's wrong. There's no she's just right just because NJ. You know what I'm saying? Like I think it's a brilliant thing that they did with this character. I really wish this gets to be a movie. Maybe they do a sequel, or even if they can keep it like a cartoon series where they continue. Maybe Happiness is still doing things or whatever, or like maybe we get to see like a grown-up Tola in the future and she's taking over her dad's position, and her and Kole are doing things in the mainland or something like that. I don't want this to stop. Like we're gonna talk about it some more next week, but like I do wish this can get a follow-up of some kind.
Next week we're doing 3 and 4 because I'm definitely reviewing this. I'm enjoying dissecting this. I think next week we're gonna have a guest. Magaziat might be joining us. We're still working out on the date on the time schedules. So, no, but hey, Extrodin, what was your final score before you start closing things out?
I give it an 8 as well. I think the visuals for me were impeccable. Usually when we see something like this coming out from Africa, we're like, at least we tried. It feels like sometimes they don't get to the level that you wanted to
No,
get to.
I think recently, I think like these last, I want to say 2 3 years, 4 years, pens have been on fire. Like
Yeah, I was
Due for last.
I was getting there.
uh,
For the most part, as we were growing up, the quality was not that great. I think that's why we gravitated towards like Western stuff or Eastern stuff, Asian stuff. But as of late, I guess also maybe what it teaches us maybe the problem was the budget all along. I think that was maybe the
yeah,
problem.
maybe it wasn't the skill, maybe it was just the tools.
Yeah. So for me, man, I enjoyed every moment of this series, every second. Actually, the episodes feel short. Like they feel
Yeah.
very.
Yeah, man, that's why like I think
think
a
they're
nice
also.
Pixar movie, 2.5 hour movie where they got to space a lot of this stuff out and they weren't constrained to the episode format, it might have like that's why
Maybe it's a question I need to ask you guys because I felt like maybe because you're so used to super long episodes from like shows like Netflix and stuff like that, that a nice 30-minute show like this actually feels shorter than usual when it actually used to be the norm. How does
No, but I'm saying like I think when you're doing like something like this where they're having all of this world building and whatever, and obviously they're doing like an overarching narrative. Like I feel like we weren't like it's not like like with Avatar, when we talk about Avatar, the world building was there so that we could get to book 2, so that we could get to book 3 or whatever. This kind of feels like it was nice and self-contained. Like it wasn't like an ever expansive story. It was like a story about these people, a story about this girl trying to figure out where her father comes from, and discussing classism within the Nigerian context and Nigerian economy. So I feel like the 30-minute thing, it constrains a lot of those ideas because now these ideas can't flow into one another. Like the episodes can't flow into one another, if you get what I'm saying.
I
So
get
like
you.
how episode 1 and episode 2, you can see that if they put these things together, they could have given certain scenes a little bit more space to breathe. Like Bode's backstory could have been an entire sequence instead of just like a little clip or whatever, and all of that
Right.
stuff. And to maybe have seen him stealing the necklace and all of those things and see why he's going through what he's going through in Yana. And then we can get back to Bode in real time and all of that stuff. And it could have been a nice little, like when it's 30 minutes, it feels like hard stop here and then we're back on the story, and then hard stop here and then we're back on the story.
Right.
Anyway, so I think we've given our reviews. let's close things out,
But
right?
go check it out.
Yeah.
Whoever's watching this, please go watch this.
Yeah, no, yeah. It goes without saying. Watch this. Don't if you feel depressed over the adaptation of that other show, watch this. You'll feel good about life again. It will restore your faith in humanity. So go and watch this, okay? Mr.
You're staying true to your Fire Nation roots, ne? Okay.
No. I'm here. I don't want peace. I want problems always.
I don't want peace. I want
problems.
Anyway,
Thank you for listening until this point. I do hope that you like, share, comment, and subscribe. Please follow these people in their various pages. Mr. Extrodin is a technical and analytical genius. Mr. BuckMeister will give you all the downloads about he knows more about all this than I do. About what you're talking about than I do. He's really an authority in this topic, and as well as, of course, we just discovered he's actually the king of Wakanda. So give him his proper respect. Go for it for now. We want that's why you just saying my brain is not brain. Oh, okay, yeah. I want to become more viral than herpes.
Oh, okay. So is this antibiotics? I got it.
Yeah, we want to become more viral than herpes, and the way herpes goes is mouth to mouth, guys. So please spread us around. We love you guys. We'll see you guys next week. Peace out.
He did it again.
Your juice is just doing that.
Yeah, crazy.